You can't be wrong unless I'm right. Not positive that was the way that was supposed to come out of my mouth. But that's the way it came out, and I'll stick with it. Let's see. It's 5:47. I'm Danny Bonaduce. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Was that a movie quote?
What?
What you just said.
You can't be wrong unless I'm right.
Yeah. Silver Streak with Gene Wilder.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. But you see the other one where Gene Wilder wears blackface?
I think that's the same movie.
You can't do that anymore, can you?
No.
That's crazy.
But that movie wasn't made now, so you can't do it anymore. I don't think you could do it then.
I don't think you could do that. No. You were alive when that movie was made. In your lifetime, I don't think white guys were allowed to go around in blackface. Maybe even before your lifetime. Although Al Jolson, the guy credited with the first talkie with the jazz singer, that's all that movie is him in blackface.
Really?
Yeah. Playing trumpet and singing songs.
But you know how sometimes they stop showing those types of things. Bill Cosby bought, what was it, Fat Albert and the Little Rascals, and so that you couldn't re-air them.
Yeah.
And the shows from Bugs Bunny that are super racist aren't shown on regular TV.
Well, I don't know that that's true. I watch cartoons. I'm a big fan. Now, I'm not a giant fan of Bugs Bunny anymore, but I would again say within the last 10 years, I've heard him refer to the Japanese as Japs while wearing really racist glasses, eyes, and buck teeth.
Yeah, usually they start going through and weeding those out as time goes on.
I guess as well they should. I mean, it's much like the Confederate statues. I don't think they just should get thrown out, take them all to a museum and say, hey, this is the Museum of Racism, and see who shows up, and then tag them like great white sharks.
Man, Paul, you weren't born when Silver Streak came out.
No, I wasn't. But those racist cartoons are still all over the internet.
Yeah.
Internet, yes.
And like on YouTube, they don't say like, hey, here's the racist Bugs Bunny cartoons.
No, when you see them on TV, they don't. It's just, I don't know if they slipped it because when I saw them the very first time, I didn't know that they were racist by saying the things they do and making their faces the way that they did.
Right.
It's only when I saw them 20 years later, I went, oh, man, that was on TV and it was a cartoon. When you'd bonk that racist bunny on the head, he'd get Tweety birds around his skull.
But now Paul showed it to Jelly Bean by accident because Nickelodeon won't show those. But if you're watching them on the internet, your kid's seeing all that.
Right. A lot of times with the old cartoons, we just pull them up on YouTube because, that's the only way you can get them. It's not like they're playing them now on TV.
Right.
And so
what do they play on the Cartoon Network?
Newer shows they just made. And so we've watched stuff like that, and I've been like, wow, this is super inappropriate.
And is it just racism, or is there something else?
It's mostly racism that I've noticed. There was Donald Duck joined the Nazis episode.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was.
I thought, he's sitting there with a swastika armband and learning how to be a Nazi. I thought
is he any worse than Prince Harry?
I mean, Prince Harry certainly was stupid to have done that.
Showed up in a Nazi uniform with a swastika on his arm, just like your bunny rabbit, except your bunny rabbit wasn't real, and your bunny rabbit was a duck, I know.
And I would say that Prince Harry is worse because he has free will, whereas the duck is just drawn on paper, so he doesn't really get
he's drawn to being like that. And he's not drawn on paper, but I get your point.
Donald Duck wasn't drawn on paper?
No, cartoons aren't drawn on paper, they're drawn on celluloid.
It's like a plastic that gets layered over. But yeah, it's usually done on paper, and then they put it on
paper.
Yes.
Yeah, they probably drew the first Donald Duck right there on their high school notebook.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
he didn't choose to be a Nazi.
No, he did not choose to be a Nazi, where Prince Harry did.
Well, and it was also like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and he said sorry.
I'm pretty sure Nazis were bad more than 15 to 20 years ago.
18 years ago, it was,
said sorry.
What's the thing I'm saying? It was the year 2000, 20 years ago. You don't show up being royalty or anybody else in a Nazi suit.
But you do apologize when you do something stupid,
right.
like we've all done.
Donald Duck will not apologize.
Exactly.
No, you're right. I see your point.
Yeah, Donald Duck's not apologizing, therefore he's worse.
I still don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even know how any of that happened. So help me here. I'm playing. I had a lot of things going on. I went to, yesterday was Wonton Wednesday.
Yeah.
That means we go to this Buddhist temple meditation thing for 45 minutes. It's like torture.
Yeah, but it's what you have to do to earn Wonton Wednesday.
It came hand in hand somehow. I invented the name Wonton Wednesday because I couldn't think of anything else to get me Chinese food on a regular basis. So then because we've been talking about meditation, we've been doing those little at-home courses and things.
Yeah.
Buddhists, and what do Buddhists want? We look at when Buddhists are awesome. Buddhists are really smart what they want, and they have no great desire, and they have no, so therefore they don't want anything bad enough to do anything evil to get it. And I'm not even doing what it says. They promise like pizza, peace of mind. They don't promise pizza. That'd be so weird. I think they're all vegetarians anyway. But what they do is offer you a quieted down mind. Now, I go to a psychiatrist and I spend real dough on that promise, and it's been 15, 20 years, and it hasn't worked even slightly. Not even the tiniest little bit. Sometimes I stop taking all my medication for a month or two just to see if I wig out and go, I'm crazy about Bonaduce, I don't have my med. Nope, nothing happens. Just boring as hell. The only med I don't ever stop taking is the antabuse. I think that's smart to keep in my system. So we've been going to this Buddhist temple, and in this temple, it's a big room, like an old-timey schoolhouse church kind of thing with the steeple. The one that burnt down in Hell on Wheels where the school teacher died.
Oh, thanks.
That looking thing?
Yeah, right.
Well, there's no pews, no nothing. You sit on a chair, you sit on the you sit on the pillow. I sat on the pillow this time, being my second time around. Don't sit on the pillow. If you decide to go and check this out, you sink in, your butt hurts, your muscles ache, and then you're fidgeting around, and they're going, hey, inner peace, dude, chill.
What'd you do the first time? Did you meditate standing up? Oh, there are chairs.
Yeah, no, there are chairs. Yeah. And everybody this time, I walked in, and there were 3 times as many people there as last time, which would mean 8. You know, it's not like an overwhelmingly popular thing to do, I guess. But, you know, there's a bunch of them throughout the city. I was shocked by all this. So inside, there are spectacular Buddhas. There's a Buddha sitting with legs crossed. So when I tell you he's over 10 feet tall, he appears even bigger because the lower half of him is seated. It's just this giant gold Buddha.
Wow, that's
Sitting Buddha is what they call it.
There's a giant sitting Buddha. And then there's devils, I guess. They haven't really discussed them, but there's also gold Buddha-ish things, but they have vampire teeth, and it's pretty gnarly. Oh. But, you know, take a look at the Stations of the Cross in the church I was brought up, and people are being whipped and nailed to stuff.
Right,
you know, whatever they got is fine with me. But the sitting Buddha has a big cup in its lap, maybe a, 2-foot wide thing, because he's so big. And I ask Amy if she has change, and luckily, before she gives it to me, she says, why? And I say, well, I'm going to throw it into Buddha's cup up there on the altar for good luck. And she said, hey, this is a church. Would you throw coins to Jesus? And then I put my arms out and I said, no, just because he wouldn't catch them. Oh.
News is brought to you by Les Schwab. Starting off with a sad local story, unfortunately, an overdue hiker has been found dead near a popular trail in the Cascade Mountains of Snohomish County. The hiker is a 33-year-old Linwood man. He left on a solo hike to Blanca Lake around 1 p.m. When he didn't arrive home that night, family members took to the trail to look for him. Search and rescue teams then joined the search effort, and just after midnight, they called it off because they could not find him. They resumed the search in the morning. They found his body in a stream that connects to Blanca Lake. It appears to be an accidental death.
How do he's obviously healthy. I mean, who decides I'm going to go hike to the lake unless you're fit? People like with me, I don't want to hike anywhere. If there's an upgrade, I'll take long walks. But once it's a hike, I don't want to do it. Yeah. And I know in advance, how's that guy end up dead?
Yeah. Looks like a bit of a Princess and the Pea situation in Tacoma. On I-5 yesterday, troopers caught up to a pickup truck tenuously hauling 11 mattresses stacked on top of each other.
I don't get Princess and the Pea. I get brothel. I don't really get Princess and the Pea on a 12 mattresses strapped to your back.
This was on 512. The mattresses were strapped down, but the tower leaning precariously off the top of the pickup truck's bed.
Yeah, that's just too tall.
Yeah.
See, that's what I say. Everything.
According to the Tacoma troopers, holy leaning tower of mattresses.
Wow, they come up with that by themselves?
Oh, they sure did.
They let those guys have guns?
Tacoma troopers were able to safely stop this driver before disaster struck. So the driver was cited for not properly securing their load, and they said that had they not been stopped, they could have tried to go under an underpass that would have been too short for them.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll get a bigger tower of mattresses than I had anticipated.
Yeah.
And they said, thankfully, everyone involved will sleep soundly tonight. Well, maybe not everyone. This driver will have to figure out how to pay a hefty fine, too.
And get his mattresses back.
Yeah.
They didn't let him take 11 mattresses in one truck.
I mean, I get them pulling him over and saying, hey, you can't do that, but I don't get what the fine's for. Certainly not for the fact that he might have driven under an overpass because he didn't do that.
There was a big story about it. There's a full-on penalty specifically for that, and they referenced mattresses in it when they were, I don't know what you would do, they voted on it or just passed legislation, but specifically it's the unsafe pack something, and it was all around mattresses that I think we talked about it here. We went, I've seen that.
It's not properly securing your load.
But they were strapped down.
Not well enough because they were leaning over. They almost fell over.
All right.
Is it okay now?
I don't really know why I'm defending the guy, but it seems like they were strapped down and they didn't fall off.
Well,
I write him a ticket after
it's
they
against
fall
the
off.
law. There's that
Yeah, Paul, it's against the law, you lawbreaker.
I didn't realize the laws were so specific to a number of mattresses.
They're specific to even one mattress not properly secured.
Yeah.
More kids going back to school today. Bellevue, Mount Baker, Steilacoom, San Juan Island, and Kent. They were able to avoid a teacher strike, coming to an agreement late yesterday. Now, there are still a handful of districts trying to negotiate new contracts before their school year begins, including Seattle, but there is still time to do like Kent did and avoid any strikes, letting those kids get back to school and the parents get back to having freedom.
Yeah.
At least 24 people were sickened after exposure to an unknown substance believed to be fentanyl at a prison in Ohio yesterday. Guards and inmates began showing signs of a possible overdose shortly after 9 a.m. Paramedics responded to administer Narcan, which is the drug used to reverse the effects of opiates. Police said there is no threat to the public and an investigation is underway. 29 people treated, including 23 corrections officers, 4 nurses, 2 inmates.
Wow. That stuff's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to say, I don't believe it. Something, you're handling it wrong. You're doing something. What do you mean, fentanyl you couldn't even see? You just breathe in and now you're dead or almost dead. It's hard to fathom that there's something like that out there, but I guess there really is.
It is scary. They think it was fentanyl because all of the exposed patients reacted to the Narcan. Had people not responded, then they would have to figure out what else it could be. But
it's like finding out if you're a witch.
You burn them, and if they...
You throw them in the water, and if they drowned, they weren't witches. And if they don't drown, then you burn them because they're witches.
Exactly the same, Danny.
Exactly the same. We give you Narcan, you don't have a reaction, you must be a witch. Yeah, that's the same.
Or you could weigh them and see if they weigh the same as a duck.
Or you could stack them up, and 11 of them are high.
We have gotten a little closer to solving the mystery of that partially dressed woman who rang the doorbell of a Texas home in the dead of the night.
Okay, good, because I want to know, and it's driving my wife over the edge. She keeps coming up to me, what do you think? So I'll tell her what I think, and then she'll give it a minute and decide that version won't do of what I think it is, but she's beside herself with this lady.
So this is the woman who was caught on a surveillance camera ringing the doorbell of a house. She seemed to be dressed in tatters, hardly wearing anything, and something around her wrists that looked to be restraints. Well, now police say this investigation looking for her took a bit of a scary turn. It led police to the scene of violence and death. The woman from the video was subjected to domestic violence, but is now safe 5 days after she was caught on surveillance camera. The video, of course, went viral. People around the world hunting for her. Police got a lead, went to a house. There was a call they had received, a tip that this might be her. And then they got a 911 call saying there's a man threatening to kill himself. When police arrived, they found that woman's 49-year-old boyfriend dead of a gunshot wound.
Was that the guy and he shot himself?
Suicide. She was not on the scene, but they were able to track her down. She is 32 years old. They're trying to figure out what the heck was on her wrists. We still don't know, but it does appear she was the victim of domestic violence.
Yeah, I'm going to guess with one part, and that's the restraints. If this guy's going to beat her, he's going to say, you'll never leave me. If he's going to kill himself, he's going to say, you're never going to leave me, and put restraints on her. But totally sad, totally sorry. When I start the next sentence, it's a whole new thing. It's sad, and I'm sorry. I got it exactly.
Really?
It's just what I told Amy. I said, they live up the street or down the block or a few things over. Somebody's beating the girl, and she's running, looking over her shoulder to make sure. Now, I thought she rang doorbells all over the neighborhood. I don't know that makes my guess or hypothesis off, but I thought somebody was hitting that poor girl.
Yeah, they do believe she is safe and sound physically at this point. They have tracked her down, but they're still trying to figure out exactly what happened to this poor woman. But it does appear that the man who was beating her is no longer with us.
I'll be all right with that.
A federal appeals court said this week that printing "In God We Trust" on U.S. currency is constitutional.
Oh, good. I didn't even know we were caring about that right now, but when it comes up, and it does, we should be able to print anything we want. Shut up.
The eighth.
Not you, Paul. I know I was looking right at you. I mean, you shut up.
I wasn't going to say anything. You told me to shut up.
The 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in St. Paul, Minnesota, has rejected a claim by atheists and children of atheists and atheist groups that say that this violates their First Amendment free speech and religious rights by having "In God We Trust" written on coins and dollars. And the court said, get out of here.
Good. They should have said, get out of here. Atheists, believe what you believe and don't believe what you don't want to believe. I'm fine with all of it. But then when you sue to get the 10 Commandments taken out of some courthouse, I don't really get that, this kind of thing. Atheists, very, very mouthy. They don't if it came up in any way that you, I go to church or I was reading the Bible, they'll call you stupid to your face and tell you why. Oh, so you believe in a flying guy in the sky, big giant. See, my big giant that flies better than yours. It's like, hey, let me believe it. I will just shut up even more with this. But this kind of thing, I think it's fine. It's a historical fact now. That's the way our tender is.
Reprinting all of our money, too, would just be such a disaster.
That's a good point.
It's not even technically possible, I don't think.
Don't do it and chip us. Let us pay for things with our knuckles.
Oh, don't have any paper money or hard money whatsoever.
There's 1,000 countries that are currently doing it, Paul.
Just put a chip in everybody's neck. Is that what we decided? A chip in everybody's neck?
Join the thousands of other countries.
Thousands of other countries.
They all do it.
To do it, yeah.
No chip in your neck is necessary to enter that. Just text that word to 200-200 right now for your chance to win the trip to Vegas, baby.
You take the fun out of everything.
You guys remember this strange story we had about a couple who got into a boat mishap? The husband thought his wife was down below, and turns out she wasn't.
Oh, yeah. He said that he thought his wife was down below.
Yeah. We're learning a little bit more, including the captain's
I think he threw
name.
her off because she wouldn't go down below.
Records show a sailboat crashed into a bridge in Rhode Island. A man aboard named William Shakespeare did not realize.
I've heard of him.
And you know what? He can't be related. I've read it too many times that he left no relatives. There's no bloodline just back to Shakespeare.
Yeah, he probably didn't do what it took to procreate.
Do your sentences take forever to put?
I was trying to think of a tactful way of saying they believe he was probably homosexual and therefore did not procreate with women, and they haven't mastered how to do that with men yet.
That shortened that sentence up a little bit right there.
William Shakespeare did not realize his wife fell into the water until hours later when she was rescued. Their son was competing in a sailboat race. Husband and wife went to watch, and next thing you know, William Shakespeare runs into a bridge, and Delise Shakespeare, nowhere to be found. She had to be rescued from an island. The Shakespeares told authorities alcohol was a factor in the crash.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But you can believe somebody fell off without somebody else. No, I mentioned this before, so I won't go into detail. But when you do the man overboard drill, one of the biggest things is if you think you can listen for somebody falling off with the noise of the ocean, it happens all the time. Somebody just slides off the back, didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's one of my paranoias. And I don't go on boats very often, but I'm always thinking, if I fall off, nobody's going to find me. No one's going to even know I'm gone.
You muscled through this last weekend on the boat.
Yeah, but it went through my head, and I was like holding on. And then I stretched over to the beer cooler.
No.
In this case, though, like hours went by, and the guy just didn't notice that his wife wasn't there.
See, that's with Amy. Maybe she could be asleep. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most people that I have known, you'd notice them missing right away on a small boat. But Amy doesn't make a whole lot of noise.
Authorities say no one was injured after a van drove off a second-story parking lot and crashed down below in an alley.
Oh, I was hoping they crashed down by the river.
Police say the crash happened just before 7 p.m. at the Giesel Funeral Home. The van's brakes stopped working. A man was driving down the road, realized he had no brakes, thought that if he crashed into, he didn't want to crash into the funeral home itself, but he thought if he crashed into the guardrail that it would just stop the van. It didn't. Crashed right through, nose first into an alley 2 stories below.
Jeez.
There were kids in the car.
Ooh.
Nobody hurt.
Oh,
that's good.
That's an amazing thing right there.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts. Save your life every time.
Yeah.
That seems like a decent theory. I'm going to crash into the guardrail, and it's going to slow me down some.
It's going to slow you down some,
Yeah.
but you're not trying to slow down when you're on the edge of a building.
Yeah.
You're trying to stop.
No word on how the brakes failed.
Oh,
by the
God, I
way.
was going to tell you this, and I forgot. So one time I got in an accident that may have totally been my fault, and there was no other car and no good explanation. So I thought, quick, I'm going to get out of the car, and I'm going to cut my brake line. And when the cops get
course you
here,
did.
Goodness.
when the cops get here, I'll say, I don't know, I got some enemies. I
Yeah.
owe drug dealers money, whatever I'm going to say. I'm in a panic. I'm bleeding and blah, blah, blah. And I get underneath a Datsun 240Z, not easy. And the problem with my theory becomes immediately prevalent, and that is, I don't know what a brake light looks like. I just got back out and said, sorry, I crashed, and they arrested me.
A Utah shopper has expressed concern after going into a store and finding candy that looked like meth from Breaking Bad. Little packets in the little plastic packets, and it was called candy meth.
Oh, well,
Well, then, yeah.
I was
I'm
going to
about-
say rock candy,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
and
about
it's
to yell at your
blue.
mom for being a punk, but
Right.
it says meth
It
on the
says meth.
label.
Candy meth. Now, I don't know if it's a store called FYE for your entertainment. Is it supposed to be like an Archie McPhee?
Yeah.
It's like a music and movie store is what it
Is that what it is?
At least that's what it was before. I haven't seen one in a long time. They're not around here anymore.
I thought it was like, it begins with an S. They're in malls. Spencer's. It's kind of like Spencer's.
Yeah,
what I
and they
thought.
may have, since I last saw, they may have diversified since there's not a lot of people buying music and movies
Into
anymore.
meth?
No.
Into
Music,
candy,
movies, meth.
and
The 3 M's of
Candy
entertainment.
meth.
I guess it's one. No, it's several steps up from our candy cigarettes, but
Up in what sense? Like better?
no, I mean just like ramping it up. Like candy cigarettes
Candy
was
meth.
one thing.
I
I'll show
just-
you candy meth.
You know, I can't believe we're 3 totally different people. We're pitching ideas for what can we do to promote the show, and it's all great. And any one of us comes up with, what about KZOK meth? And we'll make it look like whatever it looks like. Like we'll make it look like the Black Dog and Black Dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any one of us in our different stages of life and age and background that think, yeah, run with that?
No.
Or do we all go,
Zero
you
people,
can't
yeah.
do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this company, because you got a bunch of employees before your idea
Yeah.
gets to a little wrapped thing in the store.
Somebody has to bring it to the store. Somebody has to put it on the shelf.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. Let's have our kids get confused about eating drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll call them Tide Pods. Nope, that's a different one.
Experts from scores of countries have been gathering
Thousands, right? Thousands of countries.
thousands of countries.
I thought she was going to say
that are
experts from
chips.
scores. And I was going to say, well, someone put some pants on before they talk to the media.
Experts from countries around the world are meeting to discuss ways to define and deal with killer robots, futuristic weapon systems that could conduct war without human intervention.
Saracana.
We've seen this before. This is a week-long gathering that started on Monday, and they have been at the UN offices in Geneva talking about lethal autonomous weapons systems and exploring the possibilities for regulating them, among other issues.
I'll be back.
We've seen this before. That was the whole premise of Terminator and Skynet.
Yeah.
But now UN officials say this is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is reality. We are creating computer-controlled weapons, and they could, in theory,
In
become
theory.
autonomous.
In my lifetime, not a chance in the whole wide world. They won't even look like robots that we want them to look like in my lifetime. I realize there's a dog that looks something like a dog. And then there's that sex doll that looks, the $10,000 one that looks something like a naked woman upset about something. And there's all sorts of things that you could do now, but you're not going to put them together to a real robot that learns by its own mistakes and hunts and kills. That's not going to happen. And I don't think in any of our lifetimes. Plus, why don't you just build in a fail-safe in anything?
Because
we
they're
just have-
smart enough to work around the failsafe.
We have a code. You type it in, and their heads blow off.
They
or
just
whatever.
change the
explode.
code.
Yeah.
Well, the UN doesn't agree with you. They think that this is imminent, that killer robots are no longer the stuff of science fiction, and we need to band together, and that technological advances are outpacing international law, and we need to keep an eye on it, or he'll be back.
Yeah, it's no surprise that somebody's working on this or somebody's trying to do it, of
Well,
course.
don't we have them? Don't you send a robot with a shotgun to look at things that scare you?
Do I?
Yeah, you do. We do.
Okay, what is it? You do?
I don't know. They explode bombs. They shoot through doors. They're little robots with guns.
I
Derek,
don't-
you got
I
the
don't
little
have a
robots with
robot
guns.
with
You know what I'm
guns.
talking about? Oh my God!
I don't know.
You send it by remote control.
Oh, but you're not saying us personally, like in our homes. You're saying like the U.S.
I'm
military.
saying a killer. Not even the police department. The local police department. There's a bunch in storage right up here.
I've seen the bomb,
bomb squad robot, yeah.
robot, but that's pretty rudimentary.
That's what I'm saying. They won't look like robots. That you thought they would.
It's not going to
sometime
look
you
like
were a kid.
RoboCop.
Right. It's not going to look like Betty White or RoboCop.
I think it should look like Betty White. That would be awesome.
That's less frightening than RoboCop, certainly.
KFC wants to give expecting parents $11,000 toward their child's education fund, and all mom and dad have to do is play fast and loose with one of the most important decisions of any child's life. They need to name their baby Harland, which is the name of Colonel Sanders. Now, Colonel Sanders would have been
A racist.
128 on September 9th. Sadly, he was surrounded by a lot of racists back 128 years ago. Harland is not a popular baby name. It's ranked 3,257th out of popular baby names in America. But if you want to name your kid Harland legit on his birth certificate and you enter on their website, you can win $11,000 in education funds.
Well, I'm still not doing it.
Yeah,
you
I'm
give me $11,000 in chicken. Changing some names to some kids right now. But you give me $11,000 to educate these bastards. I don't know if it's enough.
I like the name Harland. It does seem like kind of south.
Yeah.
Yeah,
deep
definitely
south,
Southern.
but not bad.
I was watching, America has changed so much in the last couple of hundred years. Not even a couple hundred, 150 since the Civil War in the obvious good ways. But I was watching a documentary about this guy and another guy, and they're one's a plantation owner, one's a soldier, and so. And one guy's name is Hull, like the hull of a boat. And he goes, "Now you listen here, Hull. When did we stop naming our kids after boat parts?" And that guy's name was
Rudder.
No, but something just as weird. It wasn't part of a boat, but something just that weird.
Oh, funny. Well, KFC is delicious food. And speaking of delicious food and delicious people, Derek and Tori will be out at Duke's Seafood and Chowder in Green Lake today for a happy hour.
Yeah, man.
One of my favorite things in the world to do.
I was discussing that with my little wife yesterday. Not only that those two are going out, Derek and Tori are going out to Duke's, but also it can't be nothing to win the best seafood restaurant in Seattle
Yeah.
over all those other ones that I go to. So I might have to show up and check you guys out and eat a bowl of soup.
And Duke's won best restaurant and best seafood restaurant.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Terry? That's what their new nickname together, Doric and Tori.
Doric?
Doric and
Well,
Terry.
let's establish what their actual names are before we combine them, too.
Derek and Tori are going to have a $500 Duke's gift card to give away on site. Duke's has been setting the bar for sustainable seafood in Seattle for more than 40 years, so don't miss that today. Happy hour from 4 till 6 with Derek and Tori. It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay!
Hollywood police detectives stopped a robber in the act at a CVS store this week. According to the detectives, they saw Paul Preston Lopez, 29 years old, arriving at a CVS on a bicycle, entering the store with his head covered and socks on his hands. Believing this was suspicious, the detectives followed him into the store, his stocking cap to completely cover his face, then threatened the cashier with his socked hands. "Give me everything you got and don't press any buttons."
Yeah, you can't make a decent handgun with a sock on your head.
You can't.
I'm not really familiar with CVS stores being equipped with that special button like the banks have, but he wanted to make sure. And when he turned around, that's when he saw the police there and was promptly arrested.
Well, that'll do it. You walk in with some of your head stupid enough, but then pull it down, you're probably a crook.
And the socks on your hands. Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
News is brought to you by Les Schwab. We will be right back with music news. Yet another project in the works for Gene Simmons and Kiss. The Rock has a cool new movie. We'll tell you about that in entertainment and some big moves going on in football. Plus, you can win a pair of Mariners tickets from KZOK next in sports. Starting with some music news, Kiss bassist and singer-entrepreneur Gene Simmons
Yeah, that guy.
has announced yet another new project. Gene Simmons will be coming out with a line of premium soft drinks.
Huh. Okay, I'm in. When I go to a restaurant and I'm not good enough at it now and I've, been fighting drinking for 20 years or whatever, when I go to a restaurant and they have a mocktails list and it's almost as much money as a high-end drink, it's like $13, I'll pay it. I think, cool, I get to have some kind of cocktail with my wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I might be in on this. Mostly I think this guy's crazy, but I'll be in for this.
Well, this is something that's going to be available at 7-Eleven stores, Wegmans, and let's see, current flavors: cola, Diet Cola, root beer, ginger ale, cream soda. And he says that these are the champagne of sodas.
Really? That seems stupid.
It sounds like they're just regular sodas.
It sounds like they're sodas. If I want the champagne of champagne, I'll drink champagne. If I want a root beer, I'll drink it. Now, is it a Kiss thing or is it just a Gene Simmons thing?
Money Bag Sodas, which is the name of his company. So I think that these are going to be Kiss branded.
Does it have his face on it?
It should, with maybe the bottle is his tongue and where it's his tongue down the neck of the bottle and where you drink is out of his throat. No?
No, that seems really unappetizing.
There's only one place on his body you could make drinking out of less desirable.
And Metallica are getting into the whiskey game. The metal legends have teamed up with a distiller named Dave Pickerel to create blackened American whiskey, named after a song from their '88 classic album, And Justice for All. Metallica says that the song Blackened actually helped shape the flavor of the whiskey, a blend of bourbons, ryes, and whiskeys from across North America housed in black brandy barrels that's blackened. I'd totally taste this.
What are you talking about?
The whiskey?
Oh.
What are you talking
I don't
about?
know. You looked right at Paul and said, I'll taste this. And I
But
thought
you
you'd be weird.
tasted-
Not look at Paul.
I
You
felt like you
tasted
did.
just because it was Metallica?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, if I were drinking, I might too. Because it doesn't sound that delicious to me. Blended all this stuff.
Yeah, it sounds kind of bitter.
Yeah, but I would drink it because it's Metallica.
I did just buy a bottle of Knob Creek that was made in maple syrup barrels, and it tastes like whiskey-flavored maple syrup.
Or syrup-flavored whiskey?
No.
Yeah, that. I said it backwards.
Yeah.
Whiskey, yeah. It
I
tastes
think
delicious.
either one will work. You're all right.
Yeah, super delicious. Hey, some of the biggest names in music will take the stage for our iHeartRadio Music Festival happening on September 21st and 22nd. We want to send you to Vegas, baby.
Vegas,
Lead
baby.
the show on us. You're listening for the keyword. You texted to 200-200 for your chance to win a trip for two. Your next chance to text in and win happens at 8:10 this morning. It's going to be an amazing music festival. Looks like there might be something brewing in the land of Motley Crue. The now defunct band, who played their final show New Year's
Yeah.
Eve 2015.
Is it coffee? Because if Gene Simmons has his soda and Metallica has whiskey, you said something's brewing.
I did.
Oh, that was really good, Paul.
Is it coffee?
Remember when I told her where you could get the clue to the game and stuff and how far along? And
Yeah.
you wouldn't even hear it if you were smart? You're smart.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I'll take it back because they don't have a coffee.
No, either way. That's where he got to there.
Yeah,
It
that's
was-
not my fault. You gave a bad clue
right.
then.
You gave a bad clue.
If we're playing Guess the News still, and
Yeah.
I think we should.
Well, I think Sarah plays it every morning.
Bassist Nikki Sixx and drummer Tommy Lee were spotted together in a studio with producer Bob Rock, who produced their 1989 album Dr. Feelgood.
But really good album. Whether you like these guys
yeah.
or not, it was a lot of fun.
Now, this is a photo that was taken just 2 days ago, and now people are thinking, are they working on something new?
What is a photo? I mean, I know what a photo is. Is there a picture of those two together?
Yes, in a studio with the guy who produced the 1989 album.
I didn't see the
Dr.
photo. I heard they
Feelgood.
were seen there. Pardon
No,
me.
I'm only laughing at you saying I know what a photo is.
Thank you.
It's the clarification that was funny.
Yeah, well, I said, what's a photo?
Yeah, I
I
know.
felt I needed to explain that. And I had not heard there was a photo of these two.
Yep, there is a photo circulating that shows the two of them and this other dude thinking, are they working on the biopic for Netflix? Or are they working on new music? Or are they just hanging out feeling like it's the good old days back in the studio? We don't know.
They can do nothing with that name, as I understand it. Nobody owns it. They all sign their rights away to that name.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would be very interested in what this was. I would like to say that they're a hugely underrated band, but then you can see them pictures of playing in front of 80,000 people. I think people may have discovered my secret. The Motley Crue is a good band, but they were a ton of fun.
The iconic cover of Michael Jackson's Thriller features the singer lying on his side wearing a white suit. And now Hugo Boss is giving people a chance to own the suit for themselves. Hugo Boss will be reissuing a limited run of the Michael Jackson suit.
I am on my way to the nearest Hugo Boss. I'm not kidding. I want it.
Well, you might not want it when I tell you the price tag.
Oh.
They said this features a narrower silhouette, but otherwise it's all of the same elements that are on the Thriller suit, because back in the day, suits were boxier, so this is more of a slim cut. And they're going to make only 100, and the price is $1,195.
Actually, not that terrible. I would never consider it in a bazillion years. I own a $1,500 sport coat, and that's from 20 years ago.
My goodness.
It was one of the perks, and I didn't want it. It was one of the perks from doing an infomercial for that guy, Kevin Trudeau. He was paying me and stuff. I got a new car for one of the things that I had done. But those things get really expensive for grown-ups. I would never do that.
Yeah.
$150 sport coat, $200 if I have to. That pink one that I like to wear with the boxes, that was $110.
Wow.
I stole it
Hey, it looks
from
great.
that K&G Superstore.
Oh, yeah.
Sandra
stole it?
Way. Yes.
He stole it as in he got such a good deal.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like he stole it.
And I could see you wearing a white suit, Danny.
I used to in the 70s,
70s? Yeah.
when I could afford to have it cleaned. I would wear that to the discos where they would say, Donna Summers would sing Last Dance, and we would all try and hook up immediately with people less attractive than the people we started out with.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will play Hawaiian King Kamehameha I in a new movie called The King. This will be done from Robert Zemeckis, who will be directing from a script written by Randall Wallace, who's the same dude who wrote Braveheart.
Oh, wow. I like
Yeah.
Braveheart. I think that's really good. Hey, doesn't King Kamehameha, is that the guy that he and his buddies club captain Cook to death?
I'm
I don't
not
know.
positive.
Well, that's how Captain Cook gets it. Standing
He gets
in
clubbed
the-
to death?
Swords. I just thought clubs were. Well, I don't know what kind of weapons they had, but it was his fault, man. He kidnapped the chief's brother.
Yeah.
And said, "We're going to kill him unless you give us this stuff." And they said, "Really?" And they just killed him right there.
Well, King
I hope
Kamehameha,
I'm right about any of that, by the way. It'd be good.
according to stories, King Kamehameha is known as the founder and first ruler of the Kingdom of Hawaii, uniting the warring islands. The King is described as a sweeping historical epic based on the true story of this man who fulfilled the prophecy that surrounded his fabled life since birth. Now, The Rock, who is of Polynesian descent, has been hoping to make a movie about King Kamehameha for the past 2 decades.
So I'm guessing if Danny's story is true, he's going to leave that part out, right?
Well, I don't know how far back that go. It could be a new king. That's definitely how Cook gets it, but I don't know if it was Kamehameha or not.
Or it may not have been the first, you mean? It could have been
Right.
the second or the third.
Or the third. Or,
Sure. The classic 1993 family film Mrs. Doubtfire
Yeah.
is being adapted into a Broadway musical.
You know, maybe. If you just had a TV series or a movie, I said, no, that's Robin Williams' part. You can't
Yeah.
play it. You know, there are certain parts you just can't. Well, you'd be crazy as an actor. You need the money and stuff, but you don't want to do that. That's crazy. But Broadway play, it's so foreign and weird. I'll take it. And Robin Williams wasn't a great singer. He was a good singer when he was the genie. He kicked butt. You never had a friend like him.
I can see this as a Broadway show, and it's such a great movie. So it's kind of nice to see it not being redone, like you said, because that's Robin Williams,
Yeah,
man.
it's totally. And you can't do it.
Yeah, but a play or a show seems totally different.
It does.
And it looks like the end of the road for USA Network's hit show, Mr. Robot. They have announced a 4th season, and now they say this will be its last. They're going to wrap up Mr. Robot, which stars Rami Malek, who's getting a lot of big movies
Right.
thanks to this show.
Is that the one what's-his-face, Christian Slater is in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not root for Christian Slater.
Why is that?
Jealous.
The first season of that show was so good, and then I just really quickly lost interest in it after that.
Really?
Yeah.
The show went downhill, or it just wasn't for you?
Maybe it just wasn't for me, because certainly other people have continued to watch it. I guess not enough now that they're canceling it.
You know, with this many channels and stuff, you need less and less people to keep a series on.
Yeah.
But apparently they found it.
Former NCIS co-stars Michael Weatherly and Cote de Pablo are teaming up to executive produce a new show for CBS, a cop drama, because we need more of those, called MIA. It's going to come from the same person who writes Riverdale and Angie Tribeca. It'll follow a female homicide detective who is given an experienced partner, and they solve crimes in Miami.
Right. A team cop show set in Miami. That's original.
And we've never seen one where it's like the rookie cop with the experienced cop.
They should call it Training Day.
Michael Weatherly currently stars on CBS's Bull, which does return this fall.
Is he the star of that show? Does he play the guy Bull?
Bull, yes.
Yeah. They bet a lot on that guy's charm, which
Yep.
I did not see. And then that show's still on. And that's all it is that guy being charming.
Yep. I've never watched it, but you're right. It's just him being charming, which is what he was on NCIS.
And that's where he got the spinoff, because people called him, that guy is so charming. And then they gave him the charming show. They should have named him Prince.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports
brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. A tough series for the Mariners. They got swept by the Padres.
No.
It was only a 2-game series. There's the bright side.
Yeah.
8-3 loss over the Mariners.
What's the bright side?
It was that was a sweep, but only 2 games.
We only lost 2 games.
Or 100% of the games we played.
True, yeah.
That's
Most
bad, you
series
guys.
are 3 or 4. This was only 2. But
Some
we
are
lost.
even 7, aren't they?
8-3.
What's that?
Aren't there 7-game series?
Not in baseball, no.
Best of
Not
I
in
guess
the
when you get to the postseason, yeah, but not in the regular
That's what I
season.
thought.
Mariners are on the road facing the Oakland Athletics. Big series. 7:05 start time on Root Sports. They are in Oakland, so we are about to play an in-studio version of Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. This game works like this. We play you a song clip. You have to call in and tell us the title, the artist, and the year it came out. First person to correctly do so wins tickets to an upcoming game. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, Derek, hit it.
Okay.
All right, do
Boy,
you know
he's
it?
good, huh?
Yeah.
How good is that guy?
Yeah.
Love him or hate him, that's an amazing voice.
Don't give him any hints. Said that
Okay.
guy. What if it's a girl?
Then you need to tranquilize her.
That guy or girl
Or girl.
in the band and
Possibly
or artist.
not to define them by their sexual preferences.
Call right now, 800-252-1025. Tell us the artist, the song title, the year it came out to win. Couple of highlights from yesterday's Mariners game. Gene Segura collected his 100th career hit in the first, which was a single. He had another single in the third, so congratulations to him. Rowan Elias threw a career-high 5 innings in relief and had his first career hit because this was interleague play, playing a National League team. Rowan Elias hit a single in the 7th. Yay.
Yay.
James Paxton, who has been on the disabled list with a bruised left forearm, is expected to return to the rotation on Saturday in Oakland. So remember, he was hit by a line drive from Jed Lowry, who plays for Oakland, but he will be returning this weekend. We need him.
Right on.
We've got Seahawks action continuing the
Yeah.
preseason. Oakland Raiders, and they're here playing the Seattle Seahawks. Kickoff is at 7.
Don't care for them.
The
Oakland?
Oakland Raiders.
Yep. Don't care for
I
them.
like Derek Carr because he's a sweetheart, but overall, nobody likes the Oakland
Okay,
Raiders.
good to
They're
know.
thugs.
I don't know enough about baseball and football and soccer to know who I hate and like, aside from our specific team members.
Derek Carr's brother used to play, super handsome. He's very religious and is nice to everyone. Someone could sack him and he gets up and said, "Thank you, man. God
Hey,
bless."
good play.
Yeah, good sack.
He really does that? I had no idea.
No,
so
one
nice.
grown man does not turn to another grown man and compliment his sack. No matter what, no matter how great it is. Hey, man, you have a wonderful sack there. I'm almost confident they didn't say that.
And the Seahawks have signed wide receiver Tyler Lockett to a multi-year contract extension.
God, I like him.
Sources say this carries a base value of 31.8 and a max value of 37.820 million guaranteed. Well, talking about money, Aaron Rodgers just got paid. He is going to be sticking around Green Bay for a while longer. A contract extension, which is reportedly the largest in NFL history. It will be, according to sources, the new deal, $176 to $180 million total.
Oh my God!
Wow.
It's just an unfathomable.
I
sum
thought
of
it was
money.
like 136 million, and I was shocked that it was that much. We're getting close to 200 million there. Is he worth it?
Crazy. Yeah,
He is.
I think so. Unless
When was
he
the
gets
last
hurt.
time he was in the Super Bowl? This last one?
No, two or 3 years ago. I'm terrible at remembering season over season because time flies.
The numbers for quarterbacks just keep going up and up, though. Every
Yeah.
time an elite level quarterback, signs a new extension, it's got to beat the last guys by 10, 20 million.
I don't know that can happen with this one.
They just
and
keep
not if
doing
it's
it.
not if it happens soon. Not if they got to re-sign a guy soon.
Yeah, it's got to cap out sooner or later. And the Jets also traded Teddy Bridgewater to the New Orleans Saints yesterday. So we're seeing a lot of quarterbacks shifting around. It's going to be a little hard to keep track of who's who. Soccer action. Clint Dempsey yesterday morning announced his retirement from professional soccer. Clint Dempsey, you will be missed from the United States team and, of course, from the Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, it's a bummer to see him go. They're going to have a ceremony before the game on Saturday, so that'll be cool. I actually have tickets going to be at that game. So.
Oh, fantastic.
He's had so many injury problems the last couple of seasons. It's been tough to watch that decline in his career, but he's
He
awesome.
will be missed. Tomorrow, Game 3, the Seattle Storm and the Phoenix Mercury with the tip-off of 7 o'clock. And congratulations, Richard in Woodinville. He knew Mariners KZOK music trivia. Derek, play that song again. A little bit on the easier side for this one. Except that
The year is always going to be a mystery because there's about 5 to 7 years that you could just go that area right there. So I'll go with Guns N' Roses, written by Bob Dylan, I think. And then 88?
Nope.
No, Paul.
89.
Nope.
89, Bob. $1, Bob.
Knocking on Heaven's Door, Guns N' Roses, 1990.
Oh, we were close.
We were close.
You were very close.
Although if we were playing Put 'em Up or Put Up Your Dukes, we wouldn't have gotten the prize.
Nope.
You can't
That's
be
right.
close.
Richard in Woodinville's getting the prize. He's going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to get what, Derek?
Richard won tickets for the game on September 8th at 7:10 p.m. versus the New York Yankees, which just happens to be Salute to Latin American Baseball Night.
Salute to Latin American baseball night.
How you feeling there, Derek?
The Mariners are set to host the New York Yankees for a huge weekend series beginning Friday, September 7th. Watch Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and the Yankees slug it out with Nelson Cruz, Mitch Haniger, and the Mariners. And on the 8th, the Mariners honor the many great contributions the Latin Americans have made in baseball and wear special Marineros uniforms.
Ooh.
Right.
Get seats while they last at mariners.com.
All right, your next chance to win will be tomorrow morning, right around this same time. Go Mariners!
Go Mariners.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is week 2 of our 7:20 game. Put Up Your Dukes. I don't know that we've ever done week 2 of one of our games before,
think
have
so.
we? Yeah, well, it's a first because it's a good game and it's a good prize. Play Put Up Your Dukes at 7:20 and win tickets to Battle at the Boat 117 at the EQC.
Just a few weeks ago, we learned that one of the last remaining Blockbuster stores was closing up its shop
Yeah, sad day.
Yeah.
in Alaska. And made sense for them to still have a Blockbuster in Alaska because they don't have great internet all throughout the state.
Right.
But they still closed, and now there is only one left, and it is in Bend, Oregon. Now, Bend, Oregon is also home to some of the best breweries in the world. 10 Barrel is coming out with a Blockbuster beer, and it looks just like the logo. It's blue and yellow, and it looks like Blockbuster.
Looks like, I guess the label looks like a marquee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like what was it? It almost looked like a ticket. The weird logo for
I can see that a little bit like a
Blockbuster.
ticket stub.
No, it did look like a ticket, but it also looked like a dressing room mirror. So I guess
Yeah.
they combined all the cliches, if you will.
Right.
Right.
And so they thought this was, paying homage to a bygone era because there are no Blockbusters save for one.
The beer people thought that.
Yeah,
Cool.
they were doing this out of respect. It's certainly for many Blockbuster is a symbol of a bygone era.
I think mostly they do it for inspiration, and then it turns into doing it for profit. So you're not going to think, hey, how can I hook this up? Let's do it with like a negative thing and see if we earn money. So I think I would, if I were drinking beer, I would go, oh, Blockbuster, that's the most awesome. I got to have some of those.
Right.
It does make sense because, like I said, it's in Bend, which is where the Blockbuster is. But it's pretty neat, whether they're trying to make money or not. It's a pretty neat concept.
No, I'm an American. It's neater for me every time you make money. I like that guy coming over from South Africa and making billions of my dollars. Do I say no? I say no. He's one of my heroes, that guy.
I was thinking about it when I looked down at myself today. It's not flannel, but I'm wearing plaid. And I like to wear plaid flannel shirts because it's a symbol to me of a bygone era, which was the 90s.
You
Grunge.
dress up like a bygone era?
I love to.
I had no idea. I'm going to start wearing some garters, sock garters and stuff like that. It does. I dress up because I like to dress up. It's fun. So I can see you dressing up for a bygone era.
I went through a phase of wanting to be, what's her name? Bridget Fonda, and pretend that I lived in Seattle.
Right.
And I would dress just like her and hope somebody said, bless you, to me in an elevator. I wanted to be her.
But
So
you
it's
hate
okay
when
in an
people say
elevator.
bless you.
Right. We both latched onto that immediately. So a waiter at Chick-fil-A says, bless you, you'll never go away.
The waiter
Somebody
at
says,
Chick-fil-A
bless you
said,
in an
May the
elevator.
Lord Jesus Christ be your savior today,
Would
my
you-
child.
And would you
worse
like ketchup?
Is it worse when you lie while invoking
It
the name of
wasn't
the
bless
Lord?
you, Danny. It was a long, windy, the Lord is your master and savior or something like that. No, but saying bless you in an elevator is more a sign of respect. But anyway, it's a big part of the movie Singles.
Yeah.
And so for me, the plaid flannel shirt is a symbol of a bygone era.
I don't have it anymore. I kept it for a really long time because I kept that size for a while, and then I blew up like a balloon in the 1990s. But I had my disco suit. We were just talking about the white suit because I want to get the new one that Michael Jackson modeled or whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me happy. You can't wear it because it's such an affront. Hey, is that guy wearing a bright white suit? That's so weird. But that's the white disco suit. I'll tell you, you guys probably don't know a disco ball as a real thing and something you expected to see. You
No,
wouldn't even
only
go
as
there.
a novelty, yeah.
Right. If you went out to that club and they didn't have certain things at the top of that list being a disco ball and sending out weird beamy lights, that was a real thing once, not a novelty.
Well, you guys listening, what for you is the symbol of a bygone era? We want to hear from you. Call us at 800-252-1025 or text in 90627.
All right, so a place called 10 Barrel Brewing is coming up with a Blockbuster beer based on the Blockbuster where we all used to go because it symbolized the end of an era. Well, what for you is the symbol of a bygone era? Here are the numbers, 1-800-252-1025, or you can text to 90627.
Good morning to Louie in Tacoma.
Hey, Louie.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's all good, man. What do you got?
Oh, how about lava lamps from the 60s, man?
You know what? I got my lava lamps in the 70s, I believe, but you're absolutely right. People, they were all times a novelty, but everybody had one in the 60s and 70s. Now you go and oh, aren't you cool with your lava lamp? It was a normal thing in the
Right.
70s
That's
and
neat.
60s.
Good morning to Drama in Renton.
Drama, what's up, buddy?
Not much. Good morning, y'all.
Morning.
Hey, this is the great symbol. This is the heart of my childhood. The mullet from the 80s.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep.
And I may have had one more recently than the 80s, I think.
But you and Billy Ray Cyrus were rocking mullets.
Yeah, there are some people that can meet. Joe Dirt, you can rock a mullet, yeah.
I hated too. Scarlett Johansson, such a beautiful woman, and she decided to rock the Joe Dirt mullet for a while. It was not a good look.
She did, really?
Yes.
For a movie role or just
No.
for fun?
For a Tootsie Roll?
For a Tootsie Roll, yes.
Well, there's no other reason that I would do it
Fashion,
except for candy.
man. I'm going to show you guys a picture, and you're going to be horrified. It is Joe Dirt with a beautiful face.
I think Joe Dirt has a beautiful face. What's wrong with you?
What for you is the symbol of a bygone era? That's the question we're asking at 800-252-1025. We'll hear from Paul and Buckley.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I'm going to stay with Sarah's pattern scenario, Paisley. And I've got a couple of Paisley shirts, I think. I'm sure I do.
I'd like to get a Brad Paisley shirt. that man's handsome. Is that see, I don't know Paisley from plaid, I don't know what that is.
Paisley, when was Paisley a real big thing, Paul?
65, 66, 67-ish.
Danny, Paisley is sort of looks like a teardrop that took a turn left. It's like
Oh,
a
that settles it
point
for
at
me.
the bottom, and then it goes round at the top. It almost looks like something you might see under a microscope.
What are you talking about?
It looks like a comma.
It's a collar, isn't it?
No, it's a
It's
pattern.
a pattern. Yeah.
Now, Brad Paisley does sell guitars with a pattern on it that looks to me, okay, I see what you're doing now. Looks like kelp and weird stuff. I never thought you could see it under a
yeah,
microscope.
it looks like a giant comma with pastel colors, typically.
Yes, that's what I meant. I thought pastel with a design in it.
And let's hear from James in Bothell. What for you is a symbol of a bygone era?
Hey, James.
Good morning, all. Yeah, well, here in Seattle, our 63 World's Fair, and we had the bubble area, which I don't know if, Danny, if you remember what that was described as.
I don't remember it, but I know what it is.
Okay. Well, the monorail itself, it was originally designed to go all the way from Tacoma to Canada, but it stopped and it never got completed.
And I'll tell you, I take it just for fun. Amy and I drive down
nice
a
view.
big hill, and when we take, it's 5 minutes of ride tops.
Yeah.
And then we take it to its final and only stop, if memory serves, and it's right above a good Chinese restaurant. So we take that. We play ping pong outside. That whole area is nice.
And the theory, the idea of the monorail doing that would have been fantastic because of all the views that you would get to see because the monorail has so much glass on the
Yep.
outside. But yeah, it's 5 minutes on a good day.
Well, somebody can get a pretty good thrill in 5 minutes, I hope.
3. Rob in Louisville, what for you is a symbol of a bygone era?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
As a teenager growing up in the 70s, I believe it was a requirement to own a pair of bell-bottom jeans and platform shoes.
Yeah, I had that, and my platform shoes were huge, just ridiculous. And I had them when I was a kid, in 1972, and we did an episode of The Partridge Family on a cruise ship. Now, if you ever have to stand on a box to be taller, if they want to hurt your feelings, they call it a man maker. You say, can you get a man maker? Mostly for David Cassidy. Could you get a man maker in here? But they were building, because I had this long speech to give next to David Cassidy. I was too short to keep both of them. They started to build the thing, and I said, wait a second. At 12 years old, I went back, put those on there. Those are genius for this. And I did that whole, every time you couldn't see my feet, I was in 6-inch heels.
We're asking for you, what is the symbol of a bygone era? Let's talk to Liz in Burlington.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. Thank you for asking. What do you got?
Good. How about phone booths?
Phone
Like,
booths.
you know,
wow.
our Superman. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Great call.
Because they went south on you because they became 90% the business of drug dealers.
I think 100% is fair.
100% is fair. Right. So not only would you call from one because you didn't want to get busted, but you would call another one and he'd answer that payphone.
Yeah.
And that's how it all went.
They had to get rid of it once they raised the rates because you weren't dropping a dime on anyone, and dropping a quarter or dropping 35 cents on someone just didn't have a good ring to
Totally
it.
did not.
Hello, Tom in Olympia.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, how's it going? Good morning.
Good morning. What do you got?
Well, just before I turned on the radio, I was listening to my YouTube war cassette tape in my 2004 Runner.
You were not.
Amazing.
That's awesome. I like it a lot, man. I used to have all sorts of cassettes.
I found a box recently full of cassette tapes and thought, what on earth am I going to do with these and where will I play them? I just go to Tom's.
Go to Tom's house. Absolutely. That's how you do it.
A lot of people chiming in on the text line at 90627 saying cassette tapes, saying 8-track tapes, also shoulder pads and big hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the shoulder pads.
Andrew
big
and Kent talking about his home phone in his kitchen, his and a rotary phone at that.
Yep.
Also station wagons, a symbol of a bygone era.
Well, I
yeah.
would take that station wagon and I would drive it to the drive-in movies.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
can't believe there
yeah.
are. I had drive-in movies to pick from. If I didn't go to Winnetka, I would go to Sepulveda, all within 5 miles of each other, in giant drive-in theaters.
Now I
Connie
think
and-
we have 1, maybe 2 left in the entire state of Washington.
Yep.
Connie and Chehalis also said rotary phones. And I'm sure for some of our younger people listening, CDs,
They'd have to be pretty young, wouldn't they?
they're gone. It's nobody gets a CD anymore.
Yeah, and it doesn't really happen all that often anymore.
So if you're 18, you probably think, oh, what is
We
this
still do
round shiny thing?
DVDs.
Say it again.
We still do DVDs.
I don't, but that's going away as
away.
well. Yeah, less and less.
Adam in Edmond says static plasma globe. Kelly in Quilcene says tie-dye is a symbol of a bygone.
We
era.
have one here at the radio station. A static,
plasma globe?
Yeah. It's in with Greg, the production guy.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Brent in Port Townsend says a symbol of a bygone era, cheesy pickup lines. That doesn't happen anymore. You just go to your app on your phone. Paul, what for you is a symbol of a bygone era?
A phone book. Telephone book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I used to use as a man maker. That's what, when you wanted to be tall, you stand on the phone book, right?
Yeah, what
That
does
works.
Jelly Bean sit on in the front seat to drive the car if there's no more phone books?
Right, exactly.
Oh.
We're gonna have
She
to.
sat on your lap.
She does. Yeah, right now she does.
Oh, but eventually the phone.
Yeah.
Right, sure.
Tori, what do you think is a symbol of a bygone era?
The Rat Pack for the 50s, 60s, and the Brat Pack for the 80s.
Nicely
Oh, yeah.
done, kid. That's
Thank
exactly
you.
right.
Hey, guess what?
What?
It's time to play Put Up Your Dukes.
Put up your dukes.
It's for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Battle at the Boat 117 next Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. If you want to play, start calling us right now, 800-252-1025. KZOK, we are playing another round of Put Up Your Dukes for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Battle at the Boat 117 next Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. Now, we know Danny would fight any cast member from the Brady Bunch. He'd fight a juiced-up baseball player. Danny would fight Screech, a Dennis Rodman. In order for you to win, you have to tell us who Danny is challenging this time to put up their dukes. Our contestant is Donna in Seattle.
Donna, how the hell are you?
That was what I was calling about.
I'm sorry?
I wasn't calling to do the challenge. I was just calling to tell you something about a bygone era.
Oh,
All right,
Donna.
well, if
Go
you can
ahead,
do it
honey.
real quick, go ahead.
I don't even know if I can play this game.
Well, do you want to play the game?
Well, I'll try. I
All right, then here you go. That seems only fair to me. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do.
All right. And do you understand the rules of the game?
I do.
All right, good enough then. Put up your duke. So if you are this institution of higher learning located in Durham, North Carolina, it's probably best known for its basketball team, the Blue Devils, who have been coached since 1980 by Mike Krzyzewski, better known as Coach K, because apparently Krzyzewski starts with a K. Can you tell us what school do I want to put up their dukes?
I can't.
all
I don't
right,
know
Donna,
that
thank
college.
you so much for calling. Let's go down to Ken in Olympia. Ken, do you need Danny to read the clue again, or do you know who Danny wants to put up their dukes?
I'm all over it.
Let's hear it.
North Carolina.
No.
I'm sorry, Ken. That is
I'm sorry,
incorrect.
That's very incorrect. But I'll bet he knows, too. He just...
Oh,
Yeah.
Ken's
Ken's going to be kicking himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
You come here, we'll kick you.
What school does Danny want to put up their dukes? Dan and Puyallup, do you want to hear the clue again, or do you know?
No, I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with Duke.
Duke University. Put up your dukes, Duke.
All right, Dan.
Congratulations.
I think I had $1 on Dan.
Did you have $1 on Dan?
I think so,
Was that
yeah.
caller 3?
That was caller 3.
All right, yeah, he had $1 on you and you won it for him.
Thank you, Dan.
Congratulations, Dan. You're going to the
Hey, not a
Jeep Winners
problem.
window in our
Rock and
lobby
roll,
to
guys.
pick up your tickets to Battle at the Boat 117 next Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. Tickets are also available at emeraldqueen.com. We'll play another round of Put Up Your Dukes tomorrow at 7:20.
Hopefully
But-
Donna calls in.
Yeah, next, the big news of the day.
We love you, Donna.
And the big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE or go online to goldbergjones.com.
A new study is showing interesting facts about gun-related deaths and where they occur the most. Now, this is taking a look at gun-related deaths that are not from conflict, terrorism, execution, or police shootings,
What else is there?
Suicide and accidental? Is that what it's looking at?
or murder.
Oh, okay.
So
I
if-
thought murder would be in conflict, but you mean like military conflict?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is not, Syria. This is not Afghanistan. This isn't a part of war.
But it does include gun crime.
Yes.
But like, say, a horrifying school shooting. Is that
That's included.
Okay, all right. I
Yes.
gotta know. Yeah.
At number 1, the place around the globe with the most gun deaths. I do not think you'll be able to guess where it is.
Prague.
That's a city. These are
Well,
countries.
You're right. I can't possibly guess.
Any other guesses?
Where the hell is Prague? Yugoslavia?
I mean, unfortunately,
Czech
I would guess the U.S.
You are close. The United States at number 2. At number 1 with the most gun-related deaths, Brazil.
Wow.
43,200. We had 37,200.
In what?
A year.
Wow.
Yeah.
In Brazil, they had 40, which
Yes.
is about 12,000 below our losses in the Vietnam War. So they're just doing the Vietnam War every year, apparently,
crazy.
in Brazil. And we're not far.
Nope.
Shameful.
India at number 3.
Really surprised by that.
It's a huge drop off. It went down to 26,500. Then gun-related deaths. So this is an analysis of 2016. The most gun-related deaths in the world, Mexico at number 4.
Oh, I forgot about Mexico. Yeah, that certainly is going to be on the list.
Less than half of the United States number, 15,400.
That's because, unlike us, they're not just randomly shooting each other. America seems to really enjoy doing that. In Mexico, they got a real drug problem, and they're shooting people, and the cartels are shooting people. I heard that in some border town there were 10,000 shootings last year in just one little town.
My goodness. Colombia's at number 5, followed by Venezuela, the Philippines, Guatemala, Russian Federation, and Afghanistan at number 10, most nhưng-related deaths.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm trying to find some math to get us out of it looking so bad. Like, well, there are only 8 people in that country, and we have 300 million. But no, those countries have a lot of people in them.
Are they maybe not all on U.S. soil, too? Because you did say it could be military conflict. Could it?
No,
these
not
No, it can't be
including-
military conflict.
Oh,
not including conflict, terrorism, executions.
Yeah,
and
that's right. I'm
shootings.
sorry. I missed.
Yeah.
So it was just gun crime,
Yep.
suicide, and
It
accidental
just seems, I
shooting.
see what your problem is. It's just such a
Too
high
many,
number. It's
yes.
outlandish.
Trying to figure it out,
so
for
many.
sure.
So to add that up over the year, there was 1 million non-conflict murders last year.
I did not add those numbers up. Don't ask me to do math right now.
No, I was just picking that. I was just
No,
saying
it's,
that
it's
number.
not that many.
But certainly hundreds of thousands
Hundreds
if you
of
add
thousands?
Hundreds of thousands.
those countries together. Yeah.
Just the countries you mentioned are hundreds of thousands.
Yep. Classic cars have been selling for quite a lot of money, but history has now been made. The most money paid for an American car at auction.
Now, you point out American, you really hate that because I asked off the air when we were talking about it. I said, so it beat the record of that used Ferrari that was 38 million or 58 million or something.
Monday,
but
we
it's an
talked
American
about it.
car.
Yeah. Monday, we talked about the record being broken for the most money ever paid at auction for a car.
Right.
That was the Ferrari that sold
Sotheby's.
for $48.4 million.
Some people just have too much money.
Too much money.
This one is the most expensive car ever sold at auction, but that car is American. It's a 1935 Duesenberg SSJ. This sold at the Gooding and Company auction on Saturday for $22 million.
Wow. And I got to tell you, you can't roll up in it as much as you think you. It's real Cruella de Vil, but
Yes,
bigger.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the cool one, I think, also where the chauffeur kind of sits outside. He's at the little 2-seater in the front, and then the 8-seater in the back, it's closed off. You're not with that guy.
But you're right. It's a big car.
It's a huge car.
It's pretty neat, and it's very rare. They were owned at one point by Gary Cooper and Clark Gable. There are only a handful of them ever made. And this is, because it's so special, they think that's why it sold for so much. But that's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but do you know the expression, ooh, that's a doozy?
That's
Does
where
that
it comes
from
from?
that?
Nope.
Oh.
Doesn't even know it. I don't know where it comes from.
Yes,
I
I do know it.
I so totally just fell for that. I hate you right now.
Sorry.
Businesses have tried many things over the years to keep bathrooms secure. When you go to Starbucks, oftentimes there's a huge wooden spoon or a ladle with the key attached. Some places you go, and I do see this a lot in Ballard, there is a PIN code, and they tell you it's 4747.
Yeah.
By the time I get there, I've completely forgotten that number.
Totally.
Well, they're trying something new in San Francisco.
I'm sorry, but I just don't want to forget this number. I was at a Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf with my wife. It's like her favorite place. Last time we were in Los Angeles. And I said, can I have the code to the bathroom? And he told me. I went there and I couldn't remember it. I went back and I said, excuse me, I totally forgot. What is the code? And he said, 1, 2, 3, 4, sir. Just like I told you. I felt really stupid.
San Francisco, they are trying out something new that could soon sweep the nation.
They could sweep, but it would help them. It's filthy. When was the last time you were in San Francisco?
It was a while back, but it was
Filthy,
dirty even then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is a new app for that. So when you need to use the bathroom, you'll be able to get in by using an app.
Get in where?
The bathroom.
Where?
At public restaurants, at public locations, coffee shops, grocery stores, you name it, a place where it might have a bathroom that you want to use.
Oh, it'll just tell you the code. It's not like going to scan some sort of
Then
electronic card
it's a
reader.
scan.
Then why
Really?
have a card? Why have a code? It's not
Yeah,
for
why not
everybody.
just
It's
have
for
an
everybody.
open
Yeah,
door?
let's have an open door.
You need to have a good to go, which is weird because that's what we call our passes for traveling.
Is this something you pay for then?
It's free, but it's trying to prevent people who shouldn't be using public bathrooms from using public bathrooms. They think that you're going to have a phone, you're going to go through the effort, that it's trying to be for customers only, and it's going to be a smartphone app that will allow you to use modern restrooms in a variety of locations. And you could also join a virtual queue, which is pretty cool. Danny, you said you went out to eat the other day and there were a whole lot of people who needed to use the bathroom and you were waiting to get up because you wanted to be next,
Yeah.
but it was too small to like form a line. This app will actually tell you when it's your turn and you can go swipe and get in.
Why am I at this place this long? Those things where everybody thought to come up with the new next big thing and came up with that. And
Right.
It's not. It's stupid.
It's where they came up with the solution to a problem that didn't really
exist.
Well, and, you know, they're trying anything they can, but I'm not saying this is going to work. Who knows? It might. I mean, the apps to rent a bicycle seemed crazy to me, and those things are working out really well. Granted, they're leaving them places that they
Yeah, have you
shouldn't,
seen
but-
all the broken bicycles all around?
I'm not dying to pee on one. It's a different thing.
I've got a couple of bits of news about Fruit Loops, one of the greatest cereals ever invented.
Yeah, it's
Totally
pretty
true.
awesome.
Carl's Jr. and Hardee's have announced Fruit Loop donuts. They are in the same color. They're in the green, blue, yellow, red, and purple, and they look just like Fruit Loops, but they're bigger and they're donuts.
It sounds bitch and everything. I don't want to take because I like that company and I like the whole thing. But haven't we all seen the Fruit Loop donut? No, you didn't see it.
Like a donut with Fruit Loops on
On
top
it.
of it?
At
I've
Voodoo-
seen that.
at Voodoo
yeah.
Donuts.
Voodoo donuts,
Yeah,
I've seen.
yeah.
No, but this is a donut. The entire donut tastes like Fruit Loop.
It's Fruit Loop flavored.
And it's in a
looks
pack.
Fruit Loop donut. It wasn't Fruit Loop
Or it
flavor?
looks no. This I think looks like a single Fruit Loop.
Yes.
Rather than having a bunch of Fruit Loops on top of it, it's a donut that looks like a Fruit Loop. So I guess it's just
So it's
a
green.
green donut, a
Yes.
blue
Blue.
donut, a pink
It
donut.
tastes
dull.
like a Fruit Loop.
Now I'm going to Voodoo Donuts.
Yeah.
But I'll never go because there's that line is always
Yeah.
there. No, shut up. It's
Well,
a donut.
Get the Good to Go app, and you could get in the virtual queue for the Voodoo Donuts.
These
And I
look
could use their bathroom.
Yeah.
These look just like Fruit Loops, but giant. And it comes in a pack with all the different colors, and they taste like Fruit Loops. I'm totally in. Do we have those here, Carl's Jr. or Hardee's?
We have Carl's
They're
Jr.
Carl's
yeah.
Jr.
All right, Derek, let me know where I can go get
not
one because
sure
I want
that-
a Fruit Loop donut.
Not sure they sell donuts at Carl's Jr.
I've never
It's
seen
brand
that.
new.
Apparently, this is new.
Yeah, that's why it's in the big news. It's brand new, big news. More Fruit Loop news in the big news.
All right.
Really?
For Halloween, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, and chocolate frosted flakes.
Apple Jacks. Do you eat Apple Jacks, Paul?
Yeah.
Apple Jacks are so
Delicious.
good. And you forget how good they are until you pop one in your mouth and then you go,
All of those have been given makeovers for Halloween. They are being made into monsters, and that's with the help of Universal Monsters. Toucan Sam is the Wolfman, Cinnamon and Bad Apple are Frankenstein, and the Mummy, Tony the Tiger, is Dracula.
And I bet they'll put out individual boxes so that I've got to buy every single
Right.
one.
Yep, you know it. All three Kellogg's Halloween 2018 cereals are on shelves now.
You know what we should do? Is save the big cereal boxes and then go to the bulk cereal store that just sells them in 8-pound bags and just refill them like salt shakers.
The Fruitios.
Yeah.
Get some Fruitios.
are delicious.
Tanya Harding is making her return to television, but this
She's
time
not a Fruit Loop.
she won't be. Well,
I thought this was all the Fruit Loop news.
this time Tanya Harding will not be dancing. The former figure skater who then competed very successfully on Dancing with the Stars.
She did? Did she win?
She didn't
in
win, but
like-
she made it pretty far.
Wow.
And she, of course, then had the movie about her life made into I, Tanya, an Academy Award-winning movie. And now she is headed to a new TV show, Worst Cooks in America Celebrity Edition.
I get asked that every year. And I say, yeah, can I just broadcast my radio show first? And they say, no, because they shoot it in New York.
Oh, that's
and
a
you'd
bummer.
be getting there by 1 in the afternoon.
I like that show.
Me too.
It'd be cool to see you on it.
It'd be the first gamey type show I ever did where I got to keep the money. I've won at least $1.8 million in
For
game show
charity?
money and had to give it away. I even made up charities. Turned out they exist.
Past cast members of the Celebrity Edition included Jay Wow from Jersey Shore, Kendra Wilkinson, Dean Cain, Barry Williams, Barbara Eden, Perez Hilton, Carmen Electra, Eric Estrada, LaToya Jackson, and Ian Ziering.
I watched Lou Diamond Phillips versus Coolio when I had when I had my gallbladder out. Like that was on all day, and I just laid there and watched it. It was great.
That sounds fantastic. Well, this new edition will be appearing next season, Tanya Harding. That's the big news of the day, which is brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online, goldbergjones.com.
Well, hang on to yourselves. I mean that literally. Hang on to yourself, because coming right up, it's the Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your Filthy Forecast. How low can it go? And I'm not talking about Tori's tiny t-shirt. No, that's gone down on us. 59 to start your morning. And even at 59, you can get a good rise in the morning.
Yes, you can.
Isn't that right, Dan?
Yeah, 59, get a rise in the morning.
It won't be a little rise, but a nice,
A little
big,
rise.
I heard it's happening here.
almost 70
Teeny
for that.
tiny rise.
I heard that.
Some afternoon delight and some sun this afternoon, too. 67 for tomorrow, and hard on you to find
My gosh.
hard on you to find better
What?
weekend weather anywhere.
You don't say it again.
The
Say it again.
70s. Lots of bright sun. What's better than seeing all these balls of sunshine in
What?
the forecast?
Balls of sunshine.
Knowing that I'll come again with another forecast.
She says that.
With the best weather front in Seattle. I'm Sarah.
Wow, if that weren't enough, my friends, let's talk about Sarah's Beaver for a second, shall we? I think we should be here tomorrow morning right around this same time, 7:50 or so. Because if you can tell us where Sarah's Beaver's been tomorrow morning, 7:50, you win VIP passes to see The Predator before it hits theaters September 14th. It is 1 minute after 8 o'clock in the morning. Quick reminder that Derek and Tori are going to be out and about from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. Oh, I didn't know it was today. Awesome. Yeah. Today at happy hour at Duke's Seafood and Chowder in Green Lake. Dig that. They've got $500 gift certificate for you from Duke's on site. They're just going to give that away. I don't know how, but they've got it and they're going to give it away. And by the way, Duke's was voted best restaurant and best seafood restaurant in 2018.
Nice. Well, here we are. August 30th, and you know what that means?
September?
September, right around the corner. Where did August go?
You can't do that yet. We're still in August.
Did you know there is a real term, a real disorder called the August blues?
I've heard it. I didn't know it was real, but I've heard it before.
It happens in the latter part of August for the most part. People start to feel sad because summer's about to end.
Yeah, I can see that.
A lot of kids going back to school this week, and then August ends, and you're like, oh, summer's over.
Kids don't get to be sad. Going back to school, shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, and so we get to be sad. But I get it completely. I mean, I've never been an outdoors guy at all, and now I do at least 5 miles a day out and about. And when the season ends, I'm 100% on the treadmill. It breaks my heart.
It is a bummer. Yeah. And I think maybe that's why Starbucks has decided to put out the pumpkin spice latte early, because it gives you something to look forward to. There's something fun to look forward to in the fall so that you don't get the August blues.
And is it that great of a cup of coffee?
Yes.
Really? Like
delicious.
You're starting to come down with the blues and you have some of the Starbucks, what is it?
It's
Thanksgiving
pumpkin spice latte.
And things are better. Because I get that with flavors. I just don't drink coffee, really.
Yeah, the pumpkin spice flavoring, full stop, is a huge, huge deal in the fall. But the pumpkin spice latte means it's fall, and I think it's supposed to just sort of make you feel optimistic as opposed to getting the August blues.
Now, if you do pumpkin spice Red Bull, then you will get my attention. But in a cup of coffee, bleh.
I'm not sure how good a pumpkin spice
I'm
Red
not
Bull's
sure how
gonna
good
taste.
a pumpkin spice coffee is going to be. It's a good milkshake.
So you're not going to look forward to the pumpkin spice latte. What is something you're going to be looking forward to in the fall?
My daughter's wedding is in the fall,
yeah.
and I look forward to seeing my little one become part of a team. And also, it's costing me a fortune, and I want it to stop.
You want it to be over
I
with.
really want it to be over. But my daughter's wedding is the top of my hit parade for that question.
Right on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was invited to the Great Pumpkin Festival that Elysian puts on every year. And it's normally at the Space Needle, like right around, what's it called?
The Armory, I think it's called there.
It's
I love
inside
the Armory.
outside. And it's so much fun. And people dress up as pumpkins and you get to carve pumpkins.
Oh, that's cool.
it's
And they
a-
do their pumpkin beer. I
Yes.
assume.
And it's a big beer festival. So they have a ton of different beer. But there's something about anticipating that beer festival to me that is something I look forward to. But also carving a pumpkin. I
Yeah.
always look forward to carving a
Super overrated event, carving pumpkins.
Yeah?
Hate it.
You don't like to stick your hand in
No.
there and pull all the slimy
Remember we
parts
talked
out?
about things you do for yourself that somebody else would pay for, whatever. If
Yeah.
you find me professional pumpkin cutters, and then it's the silhouette, all I gotta do is push the eyeballs in so my kids will think I did it. I'm down with that completely.
It
Oh, I love
bothers
it.
me people who are like really good at carving pumpkins because I can barely do just your regular
The triangle
jack-o'-lantern.
eyes.
Yeah, triangle eyes.
Well, you guys listening, what is something that keeps you from getting the August blues? What is something that you're looking forward to this fall? Call us now and tell us 800-252-1025 or text in 90627.
Okay, the August blues turn out to be a real live disorder. Summer is ending. My goodness gracious. What keeps you from getting the August blues? Is there something cool that you look forward to in the fall? 1-800-252-1025 or text 90627.
Good morning to Chaz and Lake Stevens.
Hey, Chaz.
What up?
What up, man?
Hey, yo, those cinnamon pine cones, my guys. Those cinnamon pine cones that you get.
Cinnamon pine cones,
Or
yeah.
they come in the bag.
They smell so good.
I don't think I know them.
Oh, they're like scented pine cones that you just kind of put out. You get a bag full of them. You just put them out around your house. They smell so good.
Aren't all pine cones scented?
No, but these are like spiced scented. Like
Ooh, neat.
Yeah, like a cinnamon and spice scented.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody baked cinnamon cookies, but you don't need to do any baking.
Right. Well, in that case, I'm going to go with scented candles. Oh, the right scent. Because otherwise, it can be just as depressing as anything else if you get the
Pine
wrong
cone
scent.
scented.
That would be a great
Pine
one.
cone scented.
Yeah.
Cinnamon pine cone scented candles.
Yes.
Fruit Loops scented pine cone candles.
Ooh.
Chaz really got us started.
What'd you do to us, Chaz?
What is something cool you're looking forward to in the fall to keep you from getting the August blues? Call us now, 800-252-1025. Hello, Gene.
Hello, Gene.
Hi, Gene.
Hey.
Hey.
Speak to us, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, okay. My wife and I, we look forward every fall to head on down to our place in Yuma, Arizona.
Do you
Get me
spend
out
the
of the
winter
rain.
there,
and-
Gene?
Yeah, we spend the winter down there. We got a real nice place, 16-foot sorrel cactus and 3 palm trees.
Is it, and I'm not trying to be a jerk face here, but it's a legitimate question, I think. Is it the nicest place in Yuma? Because I don't think of Yuma as having that much nice stuff.
Well, it actually has. My cousin has a nice home down there with a swimming pool. He moved down 6 years ago, and yeah, so we get to go over and use the pool. And
Here's
everything.
what I know about Yuma, Arizona. A bad movie called The 310 to Arizona.
Yeah.
Or it's a Yuma.
I think Yuma's come a long way because people started getting priced out of some of the other
Right.
areas, and it's remote, and you can probably get a huge property for not a whole lot of money.
Probably.
And a lot of people from this area too that either do extensive vacationing or they, spend half the year down there. They'll get to know people around them, or they'll buy
Yeah.
like he bought a place near family, or you'll buy a place, near friends,
Yep.
and it's kind of a home away from home. Then
Yeah, good
It's
for
really
you.
cool.
And let's hear from Jeb in Kent. What is something you're looking forward to in the fall?
Hey, Jeb.
Hi there.
Hey.
Yeah, so today is my birthday.
Happy
Hey, happy birthday, Jeb.
Hey.
Thank you. Yeah, so every year I take off the last week or 2 weeks of August from work. So I look forward to taking time off.
Yeah, that's a fair one. Looking forward to vacations.
Yep.
I am, when I get to go somewhere neat, when I get there, like I'm going to go see my family, or Amy's family, but I'm married. I'm on my family too. They have a house they inherited in some unique little village in Italy. When I'm getting there, I'm sure I'll be happy, but I don't really look forward to vacations.
You don't?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I don't like not being here.
Oh.
If I could move the show with me, like, oh, let's go to Italy. Hey, let's go to France. I would do all of that, but I don't. It's a 4-hour show. I don't need a whole lot of time off.
And Rob in Louisville, what's something cool you're looking forward to in the fall?
Hey, guys, again. Me and my wife's favorite holiday is Halloween, and we do it up big. We pass out hot dogs for the adults and coffee, and we got the haunted backyard and popcorn for the kids and candy, and we just have a great time.
That's fun.
That's nice. I like it when it, I'm not passing judgment, but when it does involve your other family, like in-laws and their kids and cousins, that seems like really neat to me. I never really had that. We're not that polite to one another, but it sounds great on paper.
Well, and getting excited for Halloween when you're an adult, you're getting excited to see the kids and to have the kids enjoy it. It seems just super fun.
If I had a better arm, I would egg your house.
I've egged your house. What is something you are looking forward to in the fall, Jim in Tacoma?
Seahawks!
Seahawks! Go Hawks. Hawks are tonight, right?
I can't believe it took anybody this long to say football.
Yeah,
coming
football's back.
Yep.
People excited to see the Hawks always, but people are really excited about the Huskies this year.
Yep.
Yeah,
They're
they
going to
are.
have a big season, and a lot of people texting in saying they're excited for Husky football, for some tailgating. Rick, who's living in Arizona, said he's excited for the temperature to drop from the 90s down into the 70s, and it'll be a little more bearable there in Arizona.
I'll be fine with the 70s, but once you stop getting lower than that, I take great offense at God, and he never listens.
I've already been invited to a handful of Huskies football watching parties. Just people stoked already. Lars and Stanwood, what is something cool you look forward to in the fall?
I look forward to the oyster run.
Oh, yeah. Every year, Danny, he tries to get you to go, but it's one of those, 3 days, your butt starts to hurt.
I'm not quite sure what we're talking about.
It's a big motorcycle ride.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'd be fun. And this year I only have a 50cc scooter, so I don't think I'll be joining you. But thank you.
Bridget and Sultan, something that you look forward to in the fall to keep you from getting the August blues?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I missed you guys. I was down south for the summer, and I'm so glad that I'm back.
Welcome
glad
back.
you're
I got to shout out to iHeartRadio because I didn't miss you as much as I did the years before.
Oh, because the app. You could listen to us on the iHeartRadio app.
Yeah, I got to listen to you guys a few times, and that just gave me a taste of home that was, oh my God, when I'm down south, I love you guys so much more.
Oh, I love Bridget.
No.
She's so sweet.
No, because now she says, I'm back, and I don't love you quite as much.
I love you less than I did a minute ago. She's a very wishy-washy listener, that Bridget. All right, what do you got for us?
Okay, well, I wait all year for my kid to get out of school, and now it's the end of summer, and I'm so glad she's going back.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's for sure.
I kind of along those same lines. Like, I can't get the August blues because Jellybean's so excited to go back to school. Like, she's really sincerely, at this point in school, she's going into second grade,
right?
Like, thrilled to be going to school. So we went last night and, met her teacher. There was a little open house at the school.
Aww.
Just seeing the smiles on all these kids' faces. Like, it's hard to get,
Can I give you a little
that
tip?
summer's over.
Don't show up drunk. I hate that.
I'll try to remember that.
Russell, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just tuned in, so I don't know if anybody has said this yet, but I'm really looking forward to the forest fires going out.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah, nobody has said that yet.
Yeah, we didn't care about anybody else.
You can own that one if you want, and he's
And we
right.
agree.
Yeah.
Because, and again, normally forest fires are like abstract, but when the smoke comes in like it did, that was crazy.
It was
I thought, are we
insane.
all going to die from this?
And John calling from Port Orchard, what keeps you from getting the August blues?
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, buddy.
So I run one of the largest haunted houses in the state of Washington, and we start building tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
So
where is it, John?
Huh?
Where is it?
It's in Bremerton, Washington. It's at the Kitsap County Fairgrounds.
Neat.
When does it open? Give yourself a little shout out here.
Well, we open the first week in October, and we are, like I said, we're the second largest haunted house in the state of Washington. It's all indoors. We have a food vendor, and we usually run about 10,000 people every year.
It all sounds great except for one thing. Why would you go out of your way to say we're the second largest haunted house in Washington? Because I see what you're doing there, but watch this. I'm the second tallest man in Shreveport. Who cares? You're now. Let me give this to you. You're now the biggest haunted house in the state of Washington, and the third biggest in America.
He said he's at the fairgrounds. That's one nobody mentioned. The fair.
I did.
Yeah.
To myself.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I didn't hear that.
No, I mean I wrote it down as we started talking about it, and then I thought, I'll wait.
Tori, something you look forward to in the fall?
Fall City Farms serves mini donuts and fresh pressed apple cider, and it's so good.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got to check it out.
And Derek, what is something that you look forward to in the fall?
The pass is opening for skiing and snowboarding season.
Heck yeah.
There's a big winner right there.
I feel better. I don't have the August blues. How about you?
I'm all good.
All right. Well, we'll be right back with the news. News is brought to you by Les Schwab. Authorities pulled a woman's body from the water yesterday near Mukilteo Lighthouse. According to the Mukilteo Police Department, the body of the elderly woman was discovered around 11 a.m. in the Puget Sound waters just west of the park. She is an elderly woman who was wearing a burgundy top and a black fleece vest. They have not released her name and not sure if we know who she is.
Or why she's dead.
Yeah, tragic story.
Fell off a boat, suicide. There's 1,000 ways this can
Got
be.
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. People wanting to dig for clams, oysters, mussels, and other shellfish will need to steer clear of the beaches along the Quartermaster Harbor between Vashon and Maury Islands. The State Department of Health has closed the harbor to shellfish harvesting because they found that the neurotoxin paralytic shellfish poison, or PSP.
Oh, my goodness gracious, because I had plans to go out there with Lenny the 7th year in a row, I think.
Unlike Paul, I love Vashon. I'd totally go out there and look for shellfish. No clams, no gooey duck, scallops, mussels, oysters, snails, and other invertebrates. Do not eat them.
You mean snalls.
Snalls and invertebrates.
They have all that stuff on Vashon?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll
reconsider.
Yeah.
Now
well, except now you can't eat it because it's got a neurotoxin, BSB or whatever. No,
Yes.
that's brown sugar bourbon. What did you say? PS2?
You can still eat shrimp and crab, but make sure to discard your crab guts because those could still have the shellfish.
Do you eat that, Danny?
What?
The crab, brain guts part?
I have it on the crabs because I've never cleaned my own crab.
Yeah.
And
Some people like
but
that
on
a lot.
lobster, that green goo, that's my
Yeah.
favorite part of the lobster. And I guess it's the brain.
I, with Danny, normally when I get it, I like to get it from QFC and they'll clean it out for me.
Sure.
But if you get it in Asian countries, they do a lot of crab and they just chop it and throw it on a plate
Right.
with all the different herbs and spices.
In
and
that
stuff.
case, yeah, I've eaten it because they make what they call a butter in the shell of its brains, and I think butter. Yummy.
Kids back to school today in Bellevue, Mount Baker, Steilacoom, San Juan Islands, and Kent, who thankfully were able to avoid a teacher's strike, and kids are headed back to school. We've got a handful of other districts that are still negotiating new contracts, trying to get that done so we don't have any interference with kids going back to school. And according to a new study from the CDC, deaths from injury, a category that includes drugs and alcohol use and committing suicide, has surpassed diabetes as a 7th leading cause of death in the United States.
What if you kill yourself because you're a diabetic?
Oh, I don't know where that one's going to
Sure,
be.
there you go. Try and
But-
keep up.
And is it that those deaths have gone up so drastically, or did diabetes go down?
Those deaths have gone up.
Oh, bummer.
Yep. And a story out of Florida that's been making headlines. Now, this week we've had a lot of primary results.
Right.
And throughout the nation, talking about Arizona, talking about North Carolina, talking about Florida. And when we had the initial returns on the primary, the headlines were focused on the possibility that Florida would get its first black governor.
Right.
And then the couple of words came from the Republican Andrew Gillum's mouth that had people talking instead. He was seen saying The last thing we need to do is monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state.
When you say he was last seen, it wasn't like he was overheard at a party. He said it on TV, looking right into the camera.
Yeah, let me clarify. I am confusing the two candidates. The person who said that is named Ron DeSantis, and he was on video. It wasn't like oops, my mic is on.
No, he was live on TV.
Yeah.
And he said, and there's been calls that he might be a racist. I don't even know. So black candidate running, white candidate running. White candidate says about black candidate, well, let's not monkey this whole thing up. Nope. No.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Now, it is an expression. My grandfather had a 1963 Lincoln when we were little kids that had the first electric car locks and windows that we had ever seen. And we'd play with them. And he would say, stop monkeying with the windows.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's a real expression people have used.
Don't monkey
But
around.
you don't monkey around. You don't slip that in accidentally talking to and or about an African American. I would, like, if I was ever going to use that sentence and I go to use it and Paul turns out to be an African American, whoa. I stop immediately. Who says that by accident?
Especially he's looking at a TV camera. He's giving a prepared statement, a prepared speech. It's something he thought about, something he put time into.
Here's my call on it. He thought it would get this reaction and went for it. He thought in some way it could help him. There's no way do you say that about an African-American guy and not know what you're saying.
Yeah.
He has addressed the controversy. He was on with Hannity last night and said it has zero to do with race and everything to do with socialism. He said a vote for the other candidate, Gillum, would make Florida take a turn to left-wing socialist policies that would absolutely devastate the state. And this statement had nothing to do with race, color, or creed.
But how does the word monkey do any of that?
Yeah, I thought he was going to make the argument that that monkeys like share, and if it's all about socialism, that they have that type of government and they share with each other. But no,
I thought you meant the singer. I was going, what the hell is Paul talking
not
about?
the monkeys.
And share. That's what I thought you were saying.
No, they're like they'll share their food or whatever. But no, he's not making that argument at all. He's just saying you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he said it was just a phrase. It's not. It wasn't directed. Though that exact word was not directed at his opponent.
Well, didn't he say it about his opponent?
Yes.
He said he wasn't calling anybody that. It's an expression. He said it had nothing to do with race. This was a conversation about socialism.
Okay, you ready for this? Paul and I are running, and I look at him and I say, everything Paul says is a bald-faced lie. Now, that's okay to say. It's an expression, but did I just go after Paul for being bald? Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah.
There's no accident there.
No, this has nothing to do with hair. This is all about lies.
Yes. Yes.
The crew aboard the International Space Station is dealing with a unique workplace hazard, but NASA says not to worry, nobody's in danger.
Isn't everything they do a unique workplace thing? Yeah. They're in the space station.
A small meteor caused a minute pressure leak, and the 6-member crew is now trying to repair said leak.
What do you mean?
Well, this happened overnight while they were sleeping.
But something actually crashed into them like you see in the movies?
Yeah.
And they're not all dead?
Houston didn't wake them up.
Wow.
Russia
Space travel's got so much more convenience.
Wake them up. We presently have 3 NASA members. Europe has 1. Russia has 2. They said it's teeny tiny little leak, but it was spotted by flight controllers on the ground. I'm guessing not with their eyes.
I remember in kindergarten, so 54 years ago, whatever, I took a little leak. And I'll never get over it. I had a little problem during nap time or some such thing, and I'm still totally scarred from this. A little leak can do a big thing. You find this more humorous than I do. I'm scarred, Paul.
I'm not very sorry about that, man.
Yeah, you're sorry. That's a bald-faced lie.
Got some very cool news to report out of the University of Minnesota. Findings that have been published this week in the Journal of Advanced Materials. Researchers have developed the first fully 3D printed bionic eye.
Oh, that's kind of awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But there's no eye in team.
No, but there's an eye in their lab.
Oh, yeah.
They got to tell the guy from Kansas.
Yep.
Is that what it's for?
It is to help blind people, and it is to help improve vision for others. What is so crazy about this, I'm going to try to think how to, no offense, dumb this down, because there are a lot of words here.
Then why would you say dumb this down, no offense?
No offense to you,
no offense,
Danny.
Yeah.
They said they're microfabricating counterparts. The problem with
Well,
making...
I'm lost
What
already.
the hell do you think she means by all them big fancy words?
What's she saying?
Mine.
She's got a pretty mouth.
If you think about the eye and the way the eye works, the cone and the iris and the diffractors, it's curvature that makes everything work. And if you don't have the proper curvature, you're not going to be able to see. It's not going to go to cones.
Yeah.
You're not
Danny and
gonna
I
get
were
the
actually just
reflections.
talking about that off the
I'm going to
air.
go build an eye.
The curvature.
So they said the hardest part has been being able to build the 3D with the proper curvatures
Sure.
to actually get it so that you can see.
Yeah.
They have now done this. That you can
Oh,
convert
thank
light
God.
into electricity, and the photodiodes are making it so your eyes can actually
Oh, the
see.
photodiodes.
That's
That
what you
was
had
the
said,
problem. That's what-
photodiodes,
yeah,
yeah.
I was saying you needed those.
Yeah, and
That
I
was
was
me
actually
dumbing it
arguing
down.
that it wasn't the photodiodes that was the problem,
Yeah.
but Danny had it all along.
Thanks, Paul.
He's good.
In news, it isn't really news, but it is news.
So the stuff we talk about.
Yeah. Stuff we actually care about.
AAA says prices on gas are going up for Labor Day.
Up! I thought we were supposed to go down as we end
Could
summer.
you do that again if I give you $1?
Up!
Yeah, you could.
I thought we were supposed to go down as we end
Yeah,
summer.
that was awesome.
Every year, the price of gas goes up for Labor Day.
Oh, really? Up!
Every
thought it
year I
goes
say
down.
prices went up.
He expected it to go down.
Yeah.
Now they said,
We're the new morning show. Up and down.
I thought we were a floor wax and spring
We've
cleaner.
moved on.
Now, last year we had Hurricane Harvey, which had been responsible for raising of prices, problems with pipelines and such. But no, this year they said, well, we don't really have a hurricane, but prices are going up anyway.
Right.
That's
But
why-
I'll always be grateful for that particular hurricane for bringing me J.J. Watt.
Oh, yeah.
Authorities in West Virginia said a man is facing charges after officers found him illegally keeping 12 rattlesnakes in his home. He had been going into the national forest, finding rattlesnakes, be like, oh, you're so cute. Come on home with me. 17 in his house, which
But and only 12 of them was he keeping illegally?
16 he was keeping illegally.
Oh.
What
But
snakes
one
this
of,
guy got?
17. Aren't you listening? 17.
you said he was charged with keeping illegally keeping 12 snakes. He had 17.
Yep.
Okay,
How
19.
many does he have?
How many does he have?
See?
I'm so confused.
You are allowed to
You're
have
supposed to dumb stuff down for us.
You are allowed to have one rattlesnake. He also had a timber rattlesnake. He had a couple of other types of rattles, but you can only have a rattlesnake that is under 42 inches. He had some that were too big. Some he was allowed to have, but basically this dude is I almost swore, weirdo.
So what are they going to do to him? Like, is that a huge charge? You have more stakes than you're supposed to by 7?
And you're allowed to have one.
Yeah.
So maybe he just didn't know he couldn't have 17 or 12 or 16 or
So
whatever.
to be clear, he had 12 rattles,
Right?
but then he also had timbers.
Okay.
But you are only allowed to have.
Timbers aren't rattlesnakes?
It's not a rattlesnake. It's a timber rattlesnake. It's a different type of rattlesnake.
Okay.
And there
It's a
are
timber
19 of them.
rattlesnake. So in total, he had 17. You're allowed to have one. He had
Yeah.
12 rattlers, and all 16 that were disallowed are going back out into the wilderness.
You're right. You're not good at math. That's like 27 snakes at least.
A team of researchers from U.S. colleges are looking for subjects interested in being paid to eat avocados for 6 months.
I'll eat avocados.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Do
Now,
we have
this
to
is-
go there? Can we stay here and eat avocados?
It's
I hope so.
it's one of two things. It's from something with the avocado growers, or it's some kind of scientific experiment.
It is examining whether avocados promote weight loss.
Well, they don't. There, give me all your money.
Each school, it's going to be a bunch of different schools across the U.S., and each school will gather 250 subjects and participants and split them into two groups. One eats an avocado a day. The other eats 2 avocados per month. You have to be 25 years old, at least 25 years old, sorry. Males have to have 40 inches around the waist, and females around 35 inches around the waist. So Tori's out.
Yeah.
Derek's out. Participants get $300, and they get to find out if avocados make you fat.
$300?
Hey.
How often? A
At
day?
the end of the study. But all you have to do is say, I'll eat avocados. That's all you have to do, and weigh yourself.
Well, I can't be trusted.
Oh, you'll lie.
Yeah.
Oh, I weigh
lie.
120 12.
No, I'll lie just to screw it up and see what happens to their little study. They've been douchified.
If they stop selling avocados.
Yeah, immediately, no more. What's
used
Jason
to-
Mraz going to do for a living?
I used to do stuff like this.
Sing, maybe?
You would get a cake box in the mail. You'd get 2 different cake boxes, and you would have to make them and then taste test it and see which one was better. And then
You'll
report your
definitely,
findings.
if you eat 2 cakes every time you get them in the mail, you're definitely going to gain weight.
No, I don't know. That's true. I never ever once got a cake in the mail. I feel like I've been ripped off.
I one time got sunscreen, and I had to use the sunscreen and describe how it felt and if it smelled good and if it did the trick.
You don't check the no box for anything, do you? You're just like, yeah, send me everything.
Wait, is that a trick question? Because if I say no, then you're
Oh,
wrong.
that's right, true.
Oh, yeah, nicely done.
The Los Angeles City Council has voted to change Rodeo Road's
Drive?
name to Obama Boulevard in honor of President Barack Obama.
Do you mean the real live rodeo?
It's not Rodeo Drive.
There's a Rodeo Road as well.
It's Rodeo Road.
Is it even in Beverly Hills, California?
Maybe it's Rodeo Road.
Maybe, and maybe it's in Wyoming.
No, the mayor of LA is Eric Garcetti.
Yeah.
And he said, it's official. We are thrilled that Angelinos and visitors will be forever reminded of the legacy of Barack Obama when traveling across Los Angeles. This is a residential strip in a prominently African-American neighborhood.
So, no, it's not anywhere near Beverly Hills.
I mean, I don't know this area, so that I'll have to trust you on
Well,
that.
it's
But
just,
it's not
no,
Rodeo
Beverly
Drive.
Hills is a predominantly white neighborhood.
Right, but it's not Rodeo Drive, it's Rodeo
Right.
Road.
I don't know where it is, but it's certainly not where the rodeo I know.
Let's see, it looks like Rancho
Mirage?
Cienego Park.
Cucamonga. No?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Whatever it is, it's no place. Nice honor.
Some people might not know that Obama studied at Occidental College in Los Angeles before transferring to Columbia.
It wasn't accidental, no matter what you've heard from the other side. He went there on purpose.
It is very near Crenshaw.
So no place.
Crenshaw is a part of Los Angeles?
yes,
It's part
it
of Los
is.
Angeles and a major street, a major thoroughfare, and it's one of the 3 streets the LA riot started on.
Gotcha. I've been to Los Angeles several times, and I regret it each time. I try not to go there.
Because of the traffic?
The traffic, the people.
There's not that many people if you're in traffic.
A North Carolina UPS driver's note is going viral after listing the reason why the package couldn't be delivered. Now, the woman who lives in the home posted the photo to Facebook. The man left a note. The UPS driver left her a note.
At her house.
In the mailbox. So the package would not fit in the mailbox, but said, could not deliver your package. I'm sorry we missed you. There's a bear in the driveway.
That's a really good excuse. Oh, the guy's kind of a punk. I'd have still gone.
You would have walked past the bear to deliver the package?
No, I think I'd have gotten the bear to move along so I could do my job.
Excuse me, Mr. Bear.
Yeah, how would you do that exactly?
Well, I'm not sure. I have a truck.
You hop out in your little shorts.
I don't hop out at all. I pull up right on him, beep the horn, and
Yeah.
he runs away. Like the little yogi face he is.
I think he looks up at you mildly annoyed. I don't think he cares about your horn.
Well, I'm in a truck. I'm bigger than he's gonna run from my truck, Paul. Plus, my awesome shorts showing my bitchin' legs.
Yeah.
He's gonna take one look at those and go, I can't compete.
He might run from your legs.
He might. I've got 4 of them. Bonaduce only has 2, and they're beautiful. That's what he's saying. Back to you in the news.
News brought to you by Les Schwab.
I love Les Schwab. Swear to God, I do. I want more Schwab.
When we come back, a star of the Hollywood Walk of Fame is not going to Danny Bonaduce.
Oh, why not? After that?
Give me time to mow.
Seriously.
We will check in with Tori to hear all of the new music that is in stores tomorrow. That's right. What's the story, Tori? Next. Well, it's Thursday.
I know what that means.
It means tomorrow's Friday, and a lot of new music will be in stores. Some fun stuff is coming out, some classic rock gems. Here to tell us all about it. What's the story, Tori?
All right. So first up, we have King of the Road, a tribute to Roger Miller.
Okay. You've won my heart.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm working on that song right now. My guitar is one of the all-time great songs.
Oh, so this is a 2 CD collection, and it pays respect to the late singer-songwriter whose crossover country pop hits include King of the Road, Dang Me, and England Swings.
Like a pendulum do.
There you go.
So you say they're coming out with CDs?
Yeah, so this is going to be a CD. It's going to include new renditions of Miller's songs by Ringo Starr, Dolly Parton, Eric Church, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, and many more.
Now, does everybody have to run out and get a CD player now?
Well, don't you have one in your car?
No.
Oh.
I actually don't have a CD player in my car either.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to discuss on this very show that those are dead. And then I asked after that, are DVDs dead?
Tori, are you telling me this is not digital?
Oh, I'm sure it's digital.
Yeah, she just means it's not a vinyl, it's not a DVD,
It's a CD.
not a movie.
And they still make them, just like they still make vinyl.
Right.
You don't have to rush out and get a record player in your car.
Yeah, I just remember from this morning saying like that was the death of the CD, and I wanted to make sure that was not
Most of
necessarily
us
right.
do not purchase our music that way anymore. I would say 99% of people are going to buy this digitally.
Yeah. But this is actually Dolly
Okay.
Parton right here singing The Last Word is In Lonesome Is Me.
Did she figure out the grammar on that herself?
Yes.
I love Dolly.
I love Dolly Parton.
It's actually really interesting. So before Miller's death in 1992, he had 31 top 40 Billboard country hits and held the record for most Grammy wins in a single night until Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Dang me. That's one of his songs.
Well, so
dang
no
me,
wonder.
dang me, ought to tape a rope and hang me from the highest tree. And then he says some skiddly stuff.
How did they not ask you to be part of this
I know, it's
tribute?
crazy, man.
All right, Pink Floyd, a box set. Give us the details.
Okay, so Nick Mason, drummer for Pink Floyd, is releasing his own box set titled Unattended Luggage. So this is going to feature his 1981 solo album, Fictitious Sports, 1985's Profiles, and the soundtrack he did for the movie White of the Eye.
Oh.
To be honest, I've never heard of any of these records, and none of them were major hits, but it's a cool addition for diehard Pink Floyd fans.
Yeah, and collectors that want to have the
Right.
full collection. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I've never heard of him, Tori.
But it does feature David Gilmour, which
There
is
you
pretty
go.
cool. And this has Robert Wyatt singing. He founded Soft Machine.
Right on.
So this is.
Oh, Soft Machine.
He's also on tour, so you can see Nick Mason on September 2nd in the UK with his band Saucerful of Secrets, which is
That's a
kind of
mouthful.
strange. Why is a Pink Floyd member doing a tribute band to Pink Floyd?
There's
For the money?
Yeah.
So they'll
Yeah.
sell?
I guess so.
Yeah. Is he a founding member?
He is.
And is he still with the... Oh, well, there's no Pink Floyd
There's no
part of
band.
Yeah, he can do it.
I guess so.
And everyone's favorite band, the band.
Yes.
Yeah, my
What's
favorite
coming
band.
out, Tori?
So the band's iconic music from Big Pink is getting a special 50th anniversary release. This was their 1968 debut release, and they did it like, this is what Danny was talking about earlier, in a pink house with Rick Danko, Richard Manuel, and Garth Hudson. They own this house in New York. And this was right after they went on tour with Bob Dylan in 1966, and they wanted to separate and do their own unique sound. Bob Dylan did co-write 3 of the songs on this album, and he
Neat.
painted the cover.
Whoa,
So it's
that's
pretty
very cool.
That is really cool. And then they moved out to Los Angeles into a house on Laurel Canyon,
Yes.
which they then caused a big stir by painting it pink.
So cool. I love it. So this set will include a hardback book, a CD, 180-gram release, but they're also going to do another vinyl release for limited edition on pink vinyl, which is kind of cute.
Is
Yeah.
Limited
House.
Edition putting out a new... Oh, no, that's New Edition. Never mind. But I'd see it if they did.
Yeah.
That's my prerogative.
Well,
So-
that's
$37 for the regular release and $67 for the deluxe.
all right. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Oh.
And that was everyone's favorite band, the band. What about
band.
everyone's favorite flautist?
Ooh, okay. So Ian Anderson's Jethro Tull has a 50th anniversary hits vinyl release. This is a compilation that spotlights their essentials such as Cross-Eyed Mary, Aqualung, Locomotive Breath, and Bungle in the Jungle.
Yeah, that's all right by me. I used to
great.
hear those when I was a kid. My brother had them. It was awesome.
So all these tracks have been recently remastered. It's only one LP, so you're going to get like 10 tracks, but it's good for like the casual Jethro Tull listener.
Right on.
Yeah, $16. Cheap.
That's not bad.
That's a wicked bargain.
Yeah.
Danny's friend and movie co-star Alice Cooper has something coming out tomorrow. Tell us what, Tori.
Yeah, so Alice Cooper is releasing a live album called A Paranormal Evening at the Olympia, Paris. Now, I wish this was a ghost hunting album.
It sounds like it.
It does, doesn't it? But this is just a double vinyl that features a live recorded show from his last year's paranormal tour. Alice Cooper released Paranormal in 2017. It's his 27th studio album.
Holy moly.
And it features U2's Larry Mueller, ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons, and Deep Purple's Roger Glover.
Wow.
He's got a lot of good friends.
Has anybody seen Alice Cooper's new television commercial?
No, what is
Just
it?
when I think I like the guy as much as I can like him, I like him more. It starts, I don't know if it's for a car. I can't remember what it's for.
I thought it was a car as well.
There's some kid running around, clean-cut kid, and he's obviously in a hurry, and he's obviously forgot something. He says, I need more flowers. Do you know where a gift shop is? Hey, do you know where a toy store is? Hey, do you know what? And he's flying all around. He throws them all up in one room, and there's a goat, a black goat, black roses, and all this stuff. And Alice Cooper comes out of the bathroom with a snake around his neck and goes, hey, what's with all the black? And then he just sits there and looks stupid, and it's intentional. He's like trying to look stupid. It's funny.
Oh, that's cute.
It
I'll
was
have to check
cute.
it out.
Thank you, Tori.
So this live album is going to feature all your favorites: No More Mr. Nice Guy, School's Out, Halo of Flies, Under My Wheels, and 18.
And that's all live stuff from
All live
Paris.
stuff. Yes, from last year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anything else coming out tomorrow, Tori?
The rest I will have up at KZOK.com.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. In entertainment news, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
It's about time.
Yeah.
That Sean guy works fast. He said he'd get me one.
Nope, this one's going to Eric McCormick.
I never liked Sean anyway.
You know what? Eric McCormick, what's he doing?
What is he doing?
Well, I know what he's
Sarah?
doing.
Will and Grace
Will
and
and
the
Grace Part
Travelers.
2.
Yeah, but besides that,
Before
what's he
that,
doing?
Will and Grace. So what's he do besides be Will and or Grace?
He's won an Emmy.
Who hasn't won an Emmy?
I haven't actually won an Emmy.
I haven't won an Emmy.
Oh.
September
But I've been
3rd.
nominated exactly 0 times.
He'll be given his star on September 13th. He reacted to the news by saying on Twitter, very happy to be walked all over.
So why does he have to react to the news like he didn't know? I'm begging. I go to Hollywood, I beg. I send in letters, I beg.
Yeah.
We a couple of our friends from the show call up and say, hey, what about the... And Eric McCormick says, oh, I didn't even know.
Okay,
I'm
so
shocked.
when
It's so
Sean
nice.
bribes
Is that
someone
my
to give you a
star?
star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and the news gets told to you, you're not going to take to Twitter to say, I can't wait to be walked all over.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised by that, though. I'm going to have begged.
There's a little good news amid all the bad news surrounding the final season of Game of Thrones that might begin later than we thought.
Oh, they're going to bring the little guy back.
Little guy's still with us.
They're going to turn it into a zombie
Well,
show. He's
in
still
our hearts, sure.
What we have found out is Game of Thrones was supposed to come out in the first half of next year. Now it's looking like it's getting pushed. So here's the good news. There will be an official Kit Harington Jon Snow beer. It's called King of the North. It's best served cold and frosty. So they have partnered Game of Thrones with brewery Ommegang and are bringing back a Game of Thrones beer.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
King of the North.
King of the North.
They're also going to have collectibles like glassware and stuff. So
Oh,
something
that'd
very
be neat. I'd buy some goblets or something
Yeah.
that looked like medieval. I watched a few episodes of that show for the first time. I've seen like one episode and I've seen it more than once. But now I've seen probably 5 or 6. Pretty good show. But here's what I say. We should all boycott.
Why?
Who's that fat bastard to take our money and then not write shows?
He hasn't not written shows. He hasn't written the books.
I don't care what is he signed a deal.
Well, and they knew he was behind and chose to move
How
forward
did you
with
not
it
notice
anyway.
that guy's behind?
Speaking of beer, I do have a beer blog up right now, KZOK.com. I had Montucky Cold Snack.
Sure you did.
That's the name of the beer.
I believe it.
And I went to Montana in Capitol Hill to drink Montucky Cold Snack.
Okay, I'm not great at geography, but I'm really lost at this point.
Is it a
Okay.
street, like Montana Street?
It's the name of the beer, and the name of the bar in Capitol Hill is Montana.
Wow.
Super confusing, but the beer blog is not, and it is up right now, KZOK.com.
It's a good, keep your eye on that place for like instructions on how to do a business. Make sure you confuse people as to your location and, of course, what you do for a living.
You'd actually love this place,
I'm
Montana.
sure, but how do I find
Fantastic
it?
dive
It's
bar.
not in Montana.
And my beer blog is brought to you by 210 Brewing Company at Angel of the Winds Casino and Resort. Fantastic beer, fantastic spot, and it's much easier to find.
Yeah.
It's in Arlington. Keanu Reeves helped to make one couple's weekend an extra special weekend.
Oh, he didn't speak?
He did speak, and he took photos. He crashed a wedding. This wedding was Jared Camara and Leslie Walker. They were preparing to walk down the aisle when they spotted him at the hotel bar. So they walked over to him and said, "Would you take a couple pictures with us?" He was very nice, according to their
Probably
account.
drunk.
Maybe. He posed for pictures. He said the wedding party came up.
Him at the bar?
Well, they went up to him at the bar and said, "Would you come take some pictures with us?"
And he said no.
So he said yes, walked over, takes all these pictures with all these different people who are part of the wedding party, including the bride and groom. The pictures are online now. And he's waving, smiling, having a good old time. It's really weird because he has a movie coming out that is about him and Winona Ryder getting married.
Right. Yeah. Going to a destination wedding.
Yeah.
Doesn't look particularly good.
I will agree with you there, but Keanu Reeves, by all accounts, is a super nice dude.
The last time I saw Keanu Reeves, and it's not like I saw him often, but the very last time I saw him, he was bellied up to the bar at the Rainbow, and we were both too old to be there as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
And then he just started, some girl came up and asked for his autograph, and they were talking for a second. I turned my back. I turned back again, and they're full on making out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. Good for her.
Good
She
for
got the
her.
celebrity.
I wouldn't mind. No, I won't finish that sentence. I'm married.
I'll make out with Keanu Reeves just
Yeah,
so I
me
can tell
too.
you guys about it.
Yesterday, we told you that Alec.
Literally taking one from the show.
Yesterday, we told you that Alec Baldwin had signed on to play Bruce Wayne's father in the upcoming Joker origin movie.
Right.
Well, this morning, Alec Baldwin says he's dropping out. He
Well,
said
why?
He said he's sure there are 25 other guys who can play the part, but he will be dropping out.
Well, of course,
he
there's
said.
25 other guys. And by the way, you have a big ego to say that. There's 2,500 other guys that can play the part of Bruce Wayne's dad. It doesn't explain why he says he signed in, because not that's easy to sign on board and then drop out.
I think it
What
was
they must
our
have done.
fault.
And used sign on as an expression rather than a real signature.
Yeah.
Did you say it's our fault?
Yeah, we were hating on him. Danny and I were saying he was too old. I think he heard it. And he
You know,
decided,
there was.
You did
I
say
love
that.
Alec Baldwin. There was no hate. He's too old because we did it. The math. Bruce Wayne should be 38 tops.
And he's 60. He looks
Yeah,
good.
he
but
does look good.
I don't know if he looks 30 years younger. It's good.
he certainly doesn't look 30 years younger Alec Baldwin good.
Yeah.
No, nobody looked that good.
Right.
And some bad news about Top Gun, the sequel.
Alec Baldwin's
Baldwin
dropping
dropped
out.
Top Gun Maverick is being pushed back a year.
No, you can't.
Well, Val Kilmer's not going to be in it now.
Tom Cruise is falling apart as we speak.
Yeah,
that
seriously.
broken knee, and then that's going to go to his hip, and that's going to go to possible death.
Right.
It's supposed to be in theaters next summer. It's filming right now. So
okay.
It's going to get filmed, but then the post-production takes longer. June 26, 2020.
Is Peter Dinklage playing Goose because he's all free? He's got time on his hands.
They've also set a
Goose is dead.
Can a goose? Can a little person fly a fighter jet?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
No, you're crazy.
Why not?
Little people can do anything they want to do, Danny. They set their minds to it.
Well, I disagree.
All right.
Professional basketball players.
Well, Spud
What if they could jump really high?
Webb was pretty
So
good.
shoot well.
No, Paul.
Why
no,
not?
it's because you're under 3. You're not making it in the NBA. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
You're not making money for it.
Now we have found out that John Krasinski's A Quiet Place is getting a sequel coming out on May 15th, 2020.
Isn't that the coach of Duke University's basketball team?
Yes.
Yep.
John Kay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, right about the same time, Derek will be telling us all about the movies that are opening up tomorrow. What to see, what not to see, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What's rotten?
Well, you can't really rate the good, the bad, and the ugly. It came out in 1972.
Yeah, that's not coming out
That's
this
a silly
weekend.
one.
I mean, I know they're doing a lot of
Do-do-do-do.
remakes, reboots. Not that one, though.
Take a look at sports.
Sports.
Wow.
That's what you did.
Yeah, I'm still an admirer if you're up.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Mariners lost to the Padres yesterday 8-3. On the bright side, Gene Segura collected his 1,000th career hit and then hit another one, 1,001. Roena Salias also had a hit. That's a big deal because he's a pitcher, and this was his first career hit. That's fun.
Look at him go. If it wasn't a home run, because if he had done that 5 times, we might have been in better shape.
The Mariners are on the road facing the Oakland Athletics. Big series, 7:05 start time on Root Sports. We are vying for playoff contention, battling with the dastardly Oakland A's.
Turn it around. Go Mariners.
But now we're not just a couple games out anymore, though, right?
No, but we're
3
playing
games.
the A's, so if we sweep the A's, we're in good shape.
Yeah, I think we're 3 games out of first and worse
Really?
when it comes to wild card.
Oh, I thought we were way further out of first place
I
than
could
that.
be totally talking out of my left ear.
I think you might be.
I think it's at least 7.
Christian Yelich joined an elite group last night.
Tell him to quiet down. He's always yelling.
Yelich hit for the cycle, becoming just the 8th Milwaukee Brewer player to achieve the feat, just the 2nd player to hit the cycle this year. The Mariners, for example, have not hit for the cycle since 2008.
What's the cycle?
You hit a home run, you hit a triple, you hit a double, you hit a single.
So one guy?
One
yes,
dude.
correct. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
It's pretty impressive. Just a handful of people throughout history have done it. And he helped propel his team to a 13-12 victory over the Cincinnati Reds. Very
Ball
exciting.
hug.
We've done it, I think, 5 times in our history. But like I said, Adrian Beltre, last person to do it in 2008. It's been a while. Seahawks action tonight. The Oakland Raiders play the Seattle Seahawks here in Seattle. Kickoff is at 7. Go Seahawks. We have signed wide receiver Tyler Lockett to a multi-year contract extension.
Yay.
Sources say it carries a base value of 31.8, a max value of 37.8, $20 million guaranteed.
Wow. I wonder if he gets really upset at the quarterback. You think, wow, what an amazing deal. And then now there's several quarterbacks that make more than 4 times that amount of money, and they don't get banged up nearly as much.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be mad?
Aaron Rodgers signed what looks to be the largest deal in NFL history. His payout, $67 million before the end of the calendar year, $80 million before St. Patrick's Day of next year, and $103 million guaranteed. The deal is worth just shy of $180 million.
That seems crazy. The finances of that, how you pay that guy, how many tickets and jerseys and hot dogs you have to sell to pay that one player.
Bonkers.
Seems crazy.
And the Jets traded Teddy Bridgewater and a 6th-round draft pick to the New Orleans Saints for a pick. And let's see, what else is happening? This is a strange story. The Cleveland Browns have released linebacker Michael Kendricks after he was charged yesterday with insider trading.
Really? That's odd.
He was charged by federal prosecutors saying that he made $1.2 million in illegal profits on investments that were attained through insider trading.
That's what they got Martha Stewart on, insider trading, but
Yeah,
she
right.
made in all the big fuss, and she's a billionaire, and this player is not. She made $57 million, they said, and took her to court and got her, just because I insist that she's innocent. I'm technically wrong. A jury found her guilty, or she pled, either way, to 57 G's worth of insider trading that, I'm sure she pays her butler more than $57,000.
Well, unfortunately, he is now losing his career and facing jail time. Has apologized, saying he knew what he did was wrong.
All right, I beg to differ one thing with you. And remember, I don't know, I'm the least sports guy in the room. I don't think his career is over.
If he goes to jail, it sure is.
No, I don't believe it is.
I mean, certainly other players have gone to jail. And
It
come back
doesn't mean
and
he can't
play.
come back, but his
Right.
career presently is over. He was just released. He's facing jail. He will not be playing football for the foreseeable future.
But she's right in
Maybe-
that he won't play in the NFL while in jail. There's no argument
And his
against
career
that.
is over for the foreseeable, like now.
Clint Dempsey announced his retirement from professional soccer. His career is over.
It is, yeah.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
It was soccer career is over. His professional
Right.
soccer career
Right.
is over.
But announcer,
Sure, yeah.
hand model, what the hell do I know?
Yeah, he absolutely will go on to do other things.
Clint Dempsey is 35 and had played through college. He played with the New England Revolution. He played for Tottenham Hotspur, Fulham, the Sounders.
He was Captain America, the captain of the U.S. men's national team.
That's right. And he leaves the game tied for the most Sounders goal of all time at 47. and tied for the most international goals by an American at 57.
It would have been nice to see him break either one of those records,
Yeah.
but
So he will not be playing this Saturday?
no, he's not going to play. He's been
His
out.
career is over.
He's been out with injuries, so we will not. We'll see him out on the field because they'll honor him before the game, and
On
that's
Saturday.
cool. Yeah, on Saturday, I'm going to be there to see that. I was actually there when he was introduced when they signed him. It was kind of cool because you heard rumors that this signing was happening, and then he came out on the field before the game, and they said,
wow.
"Yeah, it's true. We signed Clint Dempsey."
So you were there for the beginning,
Yeah, and the place went crazy.
and you'll be there for the
Yeah.
end. Oh.
I just want to be there when some guy comes out on the field. That's, good for our team.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Game 3, the Seattle Storm and the Phoenix Mercury tip-off is at 7.
Tip-off.
Sports, brought to you by
tips.
Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Go Tips.
Want to remind you guys that tonight,
Yeah.
actually, I guess technically it's today, 4 o'clock, Derek and Tori going out to Duke's Seafood and Chowder in Green Lake. Duke's has been voted best restaurant and best seafood restaurant in 2018. Derek and Tori will be there from 4 till 6. They have a $500 Duke's gift card to
Nice.
give you right there on site. Duke's has been setting the bar for sustainable seafood in Seattle for more than 40 years, so do not miss happy hour today, 4 till 6 with Derek and Tori. Big show tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
Tomorrow's Friday.
sure.
I know what that means.
Thank you. It means we will play Where Has Sarah's Beaver Been? You can win VIP passes to see Predator before it's even in theaters on September
My
14th.
God, and I want to see it. That's been a big buildup of the last 20 years or something.
I love those Predator movies. I finally saw the trailer yesterday. Is it a spoof? It looks really funny.
Because it looks so bad.
No, it looks really funny.
Because the original was kind of spoofish in that it was pretty bad.
I disagree violently.
It's one of those things we talked about that it's so bad it's good.
Yeah, but I don't agree that with the Predator. The Predator's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was great.
All right.
It was a great movie. I mean, it was a B movie. It was aliens and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was an Austrian saying, "I'm going to beat up the Predator." It was very weird.
Glover.
Jesse Ventura said, "I ain't got time to bleed."
Right.
That was a good movie.
All of those things so bad they're good.
I disagree. I think
So
good. They're good.
Maybe you're right because I forgot about the I ain't got time to bleed. That's funny.
Yes.
And so maybe this is just continuing in the same vein. We shall see.
Well, I think it's bad if you don't know if it's a comedy with a Predator who has laser eyeballs.
And tomorrow at 7:20, we will play Put Up Your Dukes. You can win your way into Battle at the Boat 117 next Saturday night at the Emerald Queen Casino.
And I think it'll be the last time we play that. I don't think we're just going to play Put Up Your Dukes forever because I'm running out of Dukes.
Well, I mean, that's nice that it's all about you, but also we need to move on from more. You're a talented young man. You can do other stuff besides the Duke game.
No, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, then.
You know who you'd never want to fight?
I'll fight Slayton right now.
Naked mud wrestling.
Now, see, you make it weird.
Oh, sorry. Naked jello wrestling. I correct
There you go.
myself.
Fine.
You don't want to get dirty.
If I was going to get naked and covered in jello with any guy, sometimes I go out of my way to think of wonderful things to say about Steve Slayton because he's my friend. He's been on the radio for 40 years or something like that. And I think Slayton may listen in his car to see what weird, stupid thing I want to say today. But he likes them mostly.
And he's always right that it'll be weird. And
When he
stupid.
hears, so yeah, if I was going to be naked and covered in jello with any guy that worked here, it would be the Silver Fox, Steve
Yeah.
Slayton.
I bet he's
think-
thrilled to hear
I
that.
think he's
Fight
down in the
me for
parking
that.
lot right now hitting the steering wheel going, I'll kill that guy. So I'm going to get the hell out of here. Steve Slayton is up next. We will get out of his way. Bye.